It's the Dolphins D, we already in here. Ready to turn up this year. We gon' get it.
Welcome to Hard Rock Stadium.
We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We got the whole squad with me now. Train to go. Come play games if you want to. Try to crash eyes. You done took the wrong route. We gon' crash you like a stunt dude. Check y'all like 1, 2. Tap your head like your uncle. You wanna ride, stay buckle. It get loud down here, get wild down here. Time to feel the jungle. Never disrespect the squad that's defended by a line. And some beats on the feast on opposition. Another line in the back, singing to the ER. Just in case you got through the first line with tripping. But if for some reason it get crazy, I got watchers on the corner for my safety. Everybody here well coached. Change the weather under pressure, stay cool like I AC. Woo! But we still made heat. Woo! Was you trying to play me? We be 3 plus 8 deep, but I'm a fool so low. Can't nothing break me. Be great, only way to do great things. Hit hard, only way to make a statement. Come up in our territory, make a payment. Or be in debt with your neck, gotta play. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad.
I hit them boys. We throw them toys. Got saying that QB. We them boys. We the realest. We go gorillas. We out here, homie. You gon' feel us. Don't make me come down. Get in that box. Like I'm red. I'll knock your socks. Won't play y'all boys. Cause we some bullies. We'll take your cookies. Cause y'all some rookies. I'm in the building. Me and Shot Jones. We do lane. We don't play zone. We play that man. So guard your hands. I see your eyes. You're scared,
we
man.
We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. We gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. Yeah.
Emmanuel Ogburn, part of the Buffet Boys. Shout out Solo D. Shout out to DWA. Let's eat.
Yo, Solo. You know they been saying you gotta make a hit squad part 2. But you know, man, we hungry this time, man. We gotta eat this time.
In the beast mode, AFC we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway.
I say and not quote. Go hard or go home is the motto. A pick or a sack is the lotto. Let's cook them like Emerald Lagasso. My bad, Legacy. He going south, that is not me. Hungry for greatness, so I eat. Stay in my zone like a Bobby. Jumping off the edge like Ian Shaq. Straight pressure, never easing back. Protection on the way you gon' get wins. Split through the middle like Wilkins. Got some backers on the back that's gon' back me up. Straight action, we be acting up. Tell Coach Drop his best plan, but it still get snatched by X-Man. Cause we back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes.
Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Trying to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet.
Eating like a buffet, it be a long day, we ain't gon' play. Yeah, them boys green, no subway. Pick the ball off X and BJ. I don't care about what he and she say, that's nonsense. Check the replay. I work overnight and it's early morning, but I'm turned up cause it's game day. They don't really want it with your boy. O-line really get destroyed. Ex-Patriot, Cal Van Noy, put him on his butt, hurt hemorrhoids. What's a grown man to a boy? Jim him at the line, dare you to throw it. Discipline coach Brian Flores, never getting rattled to the boys. Fans better pay attention, even social distance. I got a witness and you know we blitzing, but mind your business. Christian Wilkins on the line of scrimmage, far from timid, pushing to the limit, rubbing engine. You know we gotta get it, Nick Needle. You know we gonna pick it, Van Ginkle, take it to the business. Fins up till my life is finished. Say it with my chest cause I'm in it. A lie, no why, I admit it. New era, yeah, I division. A win streak, we just keep on winning. So I lose and tell them suck a limit. Bills with the Jets and New England. Miami talk dogs where you hear me.
Back in the beast mode. AFC we trying to rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Trying to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, league gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say tour from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Islands. Time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson. Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no, all day I dream about sports. I think I need some Chateau custom with some darkest colors. Just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on a show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on the vest. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Dan Marino still a GOAT. But to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dishes that we never ever seen before. Fans up, let it win. Boy, I'm ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Them Dolphins, fellas. Dolphins on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dolphins!
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta DolFan Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal DolFan Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, looking new and improved this morning. We had a technical difficulty this morning. I apologize this morning. Look, it's another case of the Mondays. What can I say? And I am super excited. I'm new, kind of improved. I want to say good morning to my family and fellow Finlaws. How's everything going this morning, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? It is a beautiful Monday morning on July 26th, and I am super excited. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. There's so much stuff to talk about today, okay? You want to know why? Because y'all are the best fans in the world, and we've had a lot happen over the weekend. A lot happened over the weekend, I must say. You know what happened over the weekend? A lot of signings over the weekend, I have to say. I want to say good morning to everybody in the chat box this morning. That's right, I'm talking about fantasy fan panel, flip side, Finn's fan panel. I don't know why I said fantasy. Seth Shu, Big Dan, Miami football talk, big time. Big time. Your package went out yesterday. I'm just saying. So be on the lookout for that big guy. Stenson O, Flipside Fishing, Chad, Estefan, Finsanity 5's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Super excited about that. If you look, there's so much stuff to talk about, but if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. Have you hit that like button? Have you given us a thumbs up yet? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And make sure you also, if you look right here, I got to get used to this new stuff. Right there. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Subscribe, baby. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Become part of what is called the #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, as well as so many other different things. We have so much stuff, so much content coming out. It's absolutely amazing. Look, I also want to remind everybody, too, if you haven't done so already, that you can also sign up to become a member. Join now. Sign up to become a new YouTube member. Where are all my members at? If you're a member and you're in the chat box right now, tell them why they should become a member of the new YouTube membership of the channel. Come on. Let's go. You know you guys want to be a part of it. Let's go. Come on. What are you guys waiting for? This is Miami Fans' #1 morning show. It is made by the fans for the fans. I made this for you. So make sure you guys do that right now. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you can help the channel grow. So look, as you guys can see right here, we use the YouTube live super chat, which is the money sign down at the bottom of the chat. You guys can use that, or you guys can use the Cash App or PayPal, MSMpodcastNetwork, whatever one you guys want to use, you guys can use that. Any donation you guys make goes to helping the channel grow. It's a big deal.
So I appreciate it, and I just want to say thank you. And last but not least, if you guys want to follow me, make sure you guys follow me at Stephen D SKPL. All right? All right. Enough about all that. Let's get into why I try to open up my throat lozenger and get ready for today. I usually have done that, but I was dealing with so many technical difficulties this morning. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't get my coffee this morning. Uh-oh. That's all right. I got you guys. You guys are gonna motivate me this morning, right? That's what you guys are gonna do. So I want to remind everybody, Stenson said this is the number one morning show right here. So make sure you join. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's see here. Look, as you guys can see, I have up here the new updates. All right. Oh, big shout out to Chad. Thank you so much for the $3.99 donation. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Again, anytime you donate, it doesn't matter how much you donate. It all helps. It helps the channel grow. So thank you, my guy. I appreciate it. Duke Tomlinson, all the way from the down under. Out here today with my good friend Duke Tomlinson, who's a Miami Dolphins fan from the down under. And he drinks Foster's beer. I'm sorry. Duke, you know I have to do that every time I see you, right? I have to do it. Mike Sensible says, morning, Stephen D. What's up? That's right, Chad. Oh, God, I love you guys. Y'all are the best, man. Y'all are hands down the best. It is super, super awesome. I'm also got Twitter up because, look, imminent news can happen any minute. Tom Pelissero. See, A-Rod, I will indulge you because now I said last week that I wasn't going to talk anymore Deshaun Watson talk. There was something to talk about. Well, now some of the big name writers are starting to talk about it, right? Some of the big, not even writers, big name people around it. And I'm going to get to the Tokyo Olympics in a minute. But I just want to say Tom Pelissero 1 hour ago on Twitter said the Texans are now willing to listen and have been for some time to trade offers for the star Deshaun Watson. Multiple sources tell me, but the price is high for a player of his caliber and should be. It'll likely take at least 3 first-round picks. 3 first-round picks. For Deshaun Watson, Chris Mortensen writes, the Texans price has some combination of 5 high draft picks and starting calibers per league sources. See, now we're getting into a whole bunch of stuff, right? Now we're getting in, somebody says 3, somebody says 5, somebody says player, like, come on. All right, you know what? I take it back. I'm not talking about it no more, okay? I can't do it. Are we going to do this for the next week until he gets traded? It's going to be crazy to me, and it's going to bother me so much. But hey, that's just the life of a morning show host, right? That's what I got to do. Look, I didn't want to get into that first. Let's get into the Olympics first, then we'll get into some Dolphin talk, okay? If you did, raise your hand in the chat box if you watched any of the Olympics since the opening ceremonies. I went back and rewatched the opening ceremonies over the weekend. Absolutely amazing. Tokyo did an amazing job. I love the Olympics because the best part is, at least for me, is it doesn't matter the time of day. There's always something to watch. I can go back and rewatch whatever. I even watched yesterday, believe it or not, whitewater rafting, like the canoe stuff. Guys, that was awesome. If you guys want to watch some cool sports, go check out this whitewater rafting. It's like a man-made river. And the whitewater rafting, like, it's dope. It is awesome. You got to, like, flow up the current, down the current, do twists and turns. It was awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. So if you guys want to see a really cool sport, go check that out. I was watching a little 3-on-3 action, big 3 in the building. That was awesome to me. What else have I watched so far today? I mean, literally, I watched Simone Biles. Come on, I had to watch my girl Simone. Simone did not start out well, nor did the women's gymnastics team start out very well. That was kind of tough to watch. But hey, they're not quite out of it yet. So we'll have to see. The U.S. started out slow, but in the last 2 days, they picked up the medal count. So they're leading with 14 medals now. They hadn't had any medal, I think, within the first 2 days. And then in the last 2 days, they got 14. They have 7 gold, 3 silver, 4 bronze. Yeah, I know. I saw Katie Ledecky lost. Hey, but so I live up Baltimore, as a lot of you know. I live north of Baltimore. Okay, I live in a place called Harford County. And I live like 10 minutes away from where the guy from the swimmer from Bel Air, Maryland, won. Like I was in that town last night, Bel Air, for dinner. And so we actually went to go see the movie. I finally went to go see Fast 9. And let me give you my review take on Fast 9, by the way. I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers, but what I will say, you're talking to somebody who loves the Fast trilogies or whatever you want to call it. You can't even call it a trilogy anymore, right? There's 9 movies. I love the Fast movies. I do. But I have to admit, Fast 9 was the whole movie. You guys ready? Family. Unbelievable stunt that would never happen in a million years, and then a little bit more. Family. And then another looking at my wife like, yeah, no way that would happen in real life. Family. That's all it was. That's all it was. And it was I love the Fast movies, but F9, that was a little out there. It was a little too much. I could deal with the McLaren or whatever it was jumping from building to building like 2 movies ago. I don't know why I could, but I could be like, you know what? That's plausible. I could see that happening. But when Tyrese like evades death like he's a freaking Navy SEAL, and I'm not giving any spoilers. I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying it was a little too much. It was a little too much. Guys, we're going to get to the Deshaun Watson talk. I promise you we will get to the Deshaun Watson talk. I see you guys in the chat room. Know you guys want to talk about it, but I got to do my morning show stuff first, right? I got to do this, okay? So, look, the F9 series I'm going to go see the last 2 movies. I'm just letting you know. And I'm going to be excited as all hell for it. And I'm not saying this was a horrible movie, with the exception of I got to wrap my head around that none of this stuff would ever happen in real life. That's all. Flipside Fishing said, first time getting gold in women's taekwondo. Yeah, look, I watched that. I've watched a little bit of fencing. Hoyo! I always wanted to learn fencing, right? Just as an opportunity to be like, let's duel. But yeah, that never happened. That never happened at all. The big story out of the Olympics, the men's basketball team. What's up, my guy? I said after their first 2 losses in, the games that don't count, the exhibition, I said, you know what? We ain't got nothing to worry about. But when you lose your opening game, and now you've lost 3 out of your last 4, I got to start scratching my head. I don't know if A-Rod says definitely not the dream team. Nah, not at all, my guy. Not at all. And it was interesting. Chef Shoes, Fast 9 was good to me. I'm not saying it was bad. I don't want to say it was bad. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It just was a little unbelievable. Just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. That's what that was. Brandon Hudgens says, hit that like button. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate it. Rafael Luciano says, hey, bro, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, big Dolphins fan since 1982, and now I live in South Carolina, and I've never seen so much talent in the Dolphins, but if X is traded, the defense will not be the same. We're going to get to that trade talk here in a little bit. Don't you worry about that, Rafael. And thank you for watching the show, man. I really do. Really appreciate that. But back to the Olympics, like I have no idea how the men's basketball team's going to do anything. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't even think they're going to medal. Yeah, I said it. You can hold me to it. They don't medal. because I think the rest of the basketball world is better than it's ever been. It's not that I think that this team is bad. Let's get that straight. I don't know. I know I'm going to get killed for this, but the Dream Team never had to face these teams. They didn't. The Dream Team never had to face the talent of the world teams that, these teams are. There's no way Nigeria would have been able, in the Dream Team in 92, been able to do what they did now. Chris says, hey, we medal, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're not a team. And a lot of these guys on these other teams are Argentina, Spain, Nigeria. I mean, the works, right? Like, you got to understand, a lot of them have been playing for a long time together. We just went into a training camp and said, hey, we're going to have a 3-week training camp and we're going to see us do it. 3 of the guys on the team played through the NBA Finals. So I don't know, man. Don't count don't count your chickens before they hatch. I would not bet on the USA men's medaling. In fact, if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would bet that they wouldn't medal. I think that's a better one. The Dream Team had way more talent than we have to. I'm not denying that, flip side. I'm just saying they never had to deal with the talent that the rest of the world has. They need to make their shots. They're getting good looks, just not knocking them down. Hey, look, Finsanity, you want to win, you got to hit those shots, and you know that better than me. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sure. One of the other things about the Olympics that is really, really cool. Oh, by the way, my girl, Naomi Osaka, straight dominated her match. I hope she wins gold. I really do. She looked awesome. Flipside fishing, I would have to agree with that. The world is catching up. Oh, 100%. Let's bet then. I'll take USA team to medal. Chris, I don't bet. I do not bet, but I'm sure somebody in the chat box would take that bet with you. I'm sure somebody would. I'm sure somebody agrees with me wholeheartedly. Let's see here. You know what else was weird? I was watching the men's swimming, and it's so weird not to see Michael Phelps in the pool. Do you realize that he's been in the Olympics since like 1996, right? I think he's been in the pool since 96. Yeah. 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, and now 2020, he's not in it. It's so weird to see Michael Phelps not in it. I'm still excited to watch men's swimming, and it was cool to see, the kid from Bel Air, which is right near where I'm from, but bro. Chris says it's 1 loss, bro. Bro, it's 3 losses out of the last 4. USA men's basketball. I'm telling you, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. I'm not a betting man, nor am I Nostradamus. I cannot predict the future. But what I'm telling you is it don't look good. It don't look good, bro, is all I'm going to say about that. All right. If anybody else got anything else that they watched over the weekend in the Olympics, I'll definitely touch back on it and go back through. I'd love to talk about it more. But as you guys know, look, the Miami Dolphins made some big signings over the weekend. One of them happened pretty much right after we got off the air, I believe, on Friday. So it was pretty cool. The Miami Dolphins signed linebacker Shaquem Griffin and cornerback Cravon LeBlanc. Okay. The Miami Dolphins announced that they waived defensive end Nick Coe and long snapper Rex Sunahara as a result of these 2 signings. Shaquem played 46 games with 1 start over the past 3 seasons with Seattle. He's totaled 11 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 pass defense. He also made 15 special teams stops, 7 solo. In Griffin's career, he's appeared in 4 postseason games. He originally entered the NFL as a 5th-round draft pick, 141st overall by Seattle. LeBlanc has appeared in 52 games with 16 starts. He spent 2 seasons with Chicago, part of 1 with Detroit, and 3 with Philadelphia. So he's traveled around a lot. LeBlanc has had 114 career tackles, 100 of them being solo, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 18 pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. He also appeared in 3 playoff games to start, and LeBlanc is a native Belle Glade, Florida resident. Played collegiately at FAU, Florida Atlantic University, before he signed with New England as an undrafted college free agent in May of 2016. And then the 2 guys that we released, Nick Coe, spent the entire 2020 season last year on Miami's practice squad. He originally entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the New England Patriots in May of 2020. And then Sanahara, also an undrafted free agent with Miami. And he was a 3-year starter at West Virginia. So, look, guys, the Shaquem Griffin thing I think is really, really cool. I think it's so cool that we signed him. Not only that, I also think it gives him an opportunity to crawl out of his brother's shadow a little bit to see how legit Shaquem is. And guys, in college, Shaquem Griffin was no joke. No joke. And I just don't know if he ever got the chance in Seattle to be able to do what I think he can do. So I don't know if he makes this team. I'd like to think he does. I really do. But, who's the odd man out, right? So, but I think he brings a lot of talent to the special teams. I said now a lot of players that are on that bubble, you have to be multi-talented. You have to be. You have to be multi-talented. You have to be able to play special teams in whatever position is and play your position at a high level. So these bubble guys, they're going to have to make the team doing multitude of different things. You can't just be good at one thing and make the team. So I think that signing a guy like Shaquem Griffin obviously brings us amazing depth at the linebacker position. And I'm excited to see what happens. I really am. Okay, so Crevan LeBlanc at the corner has so many different there's so many layers to this signing, right? A-Rod says, I love Griffin. He's the perfect Coach Flores type of player with a chip on his shoulder. Loved it. Definitely. Chef Drew says, hey, I'm proud of Ledecky no matter what. She led the whole time but came up short towards the end. But USA men's swimming team always dominates. No Phelps, bro. I'm just saying. I hope they do good, and I think they will. I think they'll win. Vicken says, what's up, Stephen D? What's up, Vic? How are you, brother? Good to see you. Let's see. What else? NorCal DolFan, driving west on 50, clock blocking fools. What's up, baby? How are you? All right, so go back to the Crevan LeBlanc signing. The Crevan LeBlanc signing has so many different layers. He's a corner. We have this whole Xavier Howard situation going on. And I think that it allows us to be able to say, hey, we can do whatever we want. Now, there was also news this weekend that came out that Xavier Howard is going to be showing up to training camp day 1. Okay? Very surprised about it. Didn't believe that would happen. And it'll be interesting to kind of see the layer of that. But I believe that Crevan was signed with the intent that maybe Xavier Howard gets traded. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see where that goes. I don't know what happens now with the Xavier Howard. I have to admit, it scratched my head a little bit when we signed him because this guy's not a pushover. This guy can start in this league. He's a beast. He's an animal. And if you look at what's going to happen, it'll be very interesting. Chris Johnson said $50,000 a day is a lot of money. No doubt about that. But, the story goes, do you really want a guy here who doesn't want to be here? It goes back to the Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be in Houston in any way, shape, or form. Decides to show up week 1 or day 1, basically so that he's showing Houston, hey, man, I'll play ball with you, no pun intended, and not physically. I'll show up. I'll take my physicals. I'll do what I have to do. But your ass better trade me. And you better trade me quick, or we're going to have serious problems. I don't know if that's the case with Xavier. Because there's some other things that came out too. Benardrick McKinney, I'm telling you, a lot of news happened. Benardrick McKinney restructured his contract over the weekend. The new guy restructured his contract, and so now you can also make the case the same way as Cravon. Cravon, you can make the case that, okay, they're getting ready for life without Xavier. And with the restructured contract of a brand new guy, you can make the case, okay, well, they're doing what they got to do to make sure Xavier's happy. So which one is it going to be? And so it just brings up a lot of unnecessary anxiety of how the Dolphins and what direction they're going to go in for this game. It'll be for this season. It'll be very, very interesting to see. I am super excited about it. I think that if you look at what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now, they're playing both sides of the coin, and they don't know which way they're going to go yet. So with that looking, it'll be very interesting to see. Chef Chu says, hey, the USA men's swimming 4x100 team won the gold last night. They did? Well, thank you for ruining it for me, Chef. I hadn't watched it yet. I'm just playing, but I appreciate it because now that's good to know. Patman25 says, I wonder if Watson's going to underperform in camp on purpose. I don't think he's going to really throw or anything. Duke Tomlinson, do they still have boxing this year at the Olympics? They do. They do have boxing at the Olympics this year that I am aware of. I know they had taekwondo and all that other stuff, but I think they still have boxing. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to go back and check. I want Deshaun to go to the Eagles, Vic says. I mean, look, they're a more likely destination, but then the reports out this morning of Tom Pelorissero said it's going to take at least 3 first-rounders. And Chris Morton said it's going to take 5 high picks and a bounty of players. Did you not just look, there's also a rumor that everything that went down over the offseason was due in part because of Deshaun Watson and Houston leaked everything to the press. So it'll be very interesting. Like, if that's the case, I'm just going to say it. Cover your ears if you got small ones. Houston's got balls, if that's the case. To go out and ask for, that, if they leaked everything. Justice said they're smoking asking for 5 picks and players. I'm not saying they're not, bro. I'm not saying they're not. But what I'm also going to say is that they are asking for it. My bad, bro. I gotta give me a heads up if you didn't see anything. I'm just messing with you, Chef Shoe. Big Drip says clock block. Yeah, look, man, I have to say that it'll be very interesting to see what happens, right? So, and so here's the other thing too. There's also rumors, and these are just rumors, that X-Man is linked to Houston. Can somebody explain that to me? Why? It doesn't make sense for Houston. Now, if Houston says, hey, we want X number of picks and players, and they're not getting it from anywhere, and Miami says, I'll make you a deal. Instead of giving you 2 first-round picks, or maybe we give you 1, we add another team or something of the – like there's a 3-team trade scenario, 3-team trade scenario in here. Because you got to remember, Houston's rebuilding. They don't need X-Man. X-Man is somebody that, like, he's going to go to a team that is ready, like that one player away on defense from being a contender. Which, by the way, shocking, Arizona Cardinals, Chandler Jones, asking for a trade out of Arizona. I didn't think they had any issues. And then all of a sudden, again, this weekend, breaking news, Chandler Jones, disgruntled, unhappy. And so, Miami Dolphins Twitterverse blew up Oh, bring Chandler Jones to the Dolphins. Bro, come on. Anytime a player is disgruntled, he's like, Dolphins fans are funny. That's all I have to say. My wife, Tamika, says, if Watson showed up for training camp, he will not underperform. You heard that. If my wife said it, it must be true. Shout out to you. I love you, honey. Look, I agree. There's no, I don't think that if you look at players right now, they're not purposely tanking. There's no way that happens. There's none. There's no way that happens. I just don't see stuff like that. And if you're looking at players and what they do, you have to understand that the Miami Dolphins, when it comes to a guy like Chandler Jones being linked, or X-Man, or Deshaun Watson, there is a certain type of player that the Dolphins want in this locker room. Coach Flo wants certain players involved in his locker room. Deshaun Watson has problems off the field. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but we're not giving up 5 first-round draft picks either, or 3 first-round draft picks. There's no way. If we did, I'd be very surprised. That's all I'll say. I would be super shocked if that happened. If you look at what the Miami Dolphins are doing, you also have to understand that they're being very calculated. The Crevan LeBlanc signing makes it that, okay, we might set up for life after X. But then if you go in the same day and they restructured Benardrick McKinney, and you're like, all right, hold up. They're asking a brand new guy to restructure his contract so that they can have more money this year. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know what the Dolphins are doing except saying that they're playing both sides of the coin and they are getting ready to pull the trigger on something. Whether that's a contract extension with Xavier, whether that's a trade for – I'm telling you, there is something big that's coming down the pipe. And I will say that if we sign Xavier, we should stop talking about Watson trade rumors because there's no way that's happening then. None. A-Rod says, no player underperforms during training camp because it only makes them look unprofessional and degrades their value. My wife says, I love you too. He would just have sat out if he was going to perform like crap. Would have been better off. I agree. Let's see here. Justice says, but since Watson has a no trade clause, who's to say that he goes? And say I only want Miami, he could put Houston in a hole, and then at that point, he would have to negotiate something responsible. Here's what I'll say. He wouldn't have showed up to training camp if he wasn't ready to play ball somewhere. And I'm telling you, at this point, he just wants the hell out. And if that's Philadelphia for him, so be it. Philadelphia will give him a red carpet treatment, open him out, and hey, bro, we'll worship you. You gotta remember, Philly fans are fickle, but they will take you in a minute if you're going to win them a Super Bowl. But the moment you screw up, boy, they will turn on you like they turned on Santa. Don't think they won't. Don't think they won't. A-Rod says Denver's also interested in Watson. Denver's interested in everybody. They haven't had a quarterback since John Elway. And Peyton Manning, yes, I said since John Elway, because Peyton Manning was at the end of his career. And Peyton Manning's not the reason they won that Super Bowl. Peyton Manning allowed players to come there, and they went there so that they could win a Super Bowl. But that defense is one that won that Super Bowl. Let's see here. Big John said, what happened to no Watson talk? I know, bro. But look, man, stuff happened over the weekend. I got to talk about something. And I think a lot of it does turn into the Crevan LeBlanc signing as well as the Benardrick McKinney renegotiation. Because it gives you two different theories. It supports two different theories if you're a Dolphins fan. It supports, hey, we're getting rid of X. And it also supports, hey, we're going to re-sign X. And Justin's right. Justice is right, and I believe something's going on. And I think the Dolphins are stirring that pot, and they're getting ready. They're getting ready. Get your popcorn ready because something's going to go down this week. That much I know. That much I believe in my heart. Something will go down this week. A-Rod says, and Santa got the business. He did. He sure did in Philadelphia, man. Bro, you get mad at Santa? How you get mad at Santa? Finally, Watson is available. Greer send the package out already. We'll see. We'll see. Get your popcorn ready. Chef Zhu, he got his. I'm just saying. It will be very interesting to see. Bleacher Report 8 minutes ago saying the Texans are listening to trade offers as we speak for Deshaun Watson, per Tom Pelorissero and Ian Rappaport. The quarterback did report to camp on Sunday and reiterated to the team, I just want to be traded. I just want to be traded. Guys, I had to admit, the Deshaun Watson, Xavier Howard trade links, they don't add up without a third team. Deshaun Watson is a player that helps a team ready to win now, and Houston is in a rebuilding, at the beginning of a rebuilding. So, bro, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Here's the other funny part too, right? So we let go, we trade away. Who's the offensive lineman to Houston that we traded away? I'm not Jawan James. Guys, help me out here. It's morning. It's Monday. I haven't had my coffee yet. Come on. Anyways, we trade him away. We end up getting 5 first-round draft picks, or 4 first-round draft picks when it's all Laramie Tunzel. 4 first-round draft picks. In theory, okay, Miami would have given back 3 first-round draft picks for essentially, if we do go after Xavier Howard, we didn't give up anything. If you really think about it, if you really want to break it down, Miami didn't have to give up anything except what they were given from Houston. That's funny. That's hilarious. That is too funny if you really think about that. And again, that is why I think Greer's a genius. Genius. I'm just saying, I think that is that's what you're going to see. Or if that comes to fruition, that will be like, okay, we didn't have to give up any of our first-round draft picks. Now, we might give up physically our first round, but all we did is we upgraded it for this year. So, in theory, we didn't get rid of any first-round draft picks. It's kind of weird if you really think about it. Exactly. You wash your hands. Mike Sensible says, all I'm saying is give Tua a chance. Bro, let's get something straight. I am a Tua fan. I want Tua. Tua. Just pay X-Man, Brandon Pote says. I want to pay him. Unless Houston is delusional to thinking they aren't in a rebuild. Bill O'Brien's not there no more. Delusional Patriots fan. So there goes that. I want Tua to play. That's where it is. I want Tua as well. I just hope he stays and balls out. Tua, here's the problem with what Tua's going on. So let's say it costs 3 first-round draft picks and maybe 2 starters. Let's just throw that scenario out there. And Philadelphia gives that up for Deshaun Watson. And now all of a sudden Deshaun Watson balls out in Philly and Tua struggles in Miami. Bro, the fans are going to come hard and quick. They are going to. Mark my words. They are going to. Tua has pressure on him that's not even his fault. That's the sad part. He's got pressure on him he has nothing to do with. Except 20 years of losing and a track record of a franchise making historically bad calls on quarterbacks. Steve Gerard says Watson's going to go straight to all the massage places when he gets to Miami. The women here will eat Watson alive. Bro, if he does come on here, and I think TD made a really good point a couple of weeks ago. I remember him saying, like, Miami should seriously, like, make sure they have, like, somebody there to be with him and stuff like that. So it'll be very interesting. It's interesting. Let's see here. Let's trade Parker for one of the centers in New Orleans. Here's the thing. New Orleans is short on wide receivers right now. So it'll be very interesting to see. And we have a plethora. So that is definitely a potential trade partner there. If Tua balls out and asked to be traded because this fan base don't deserve him, if I'm Tua ball out and asked to be traded, nah, I don't think it's like that. I just think the reality is Tua's going to have pressure on him from a fan base that shouldn't have that type of pressure on Tua yet. The reality is I want to see improvement. I just want to see improvement. Now, to me, an improvement is do better than you did last year and win a playoff game. That's it. That's all I want. Dolphins win a playoff game this year. We're on the right track, people. Let's get that straight. If we miss out on the playoffs and we still win 11 games, in theory, and I know people will argue with me on this, it's still the third year of a rebuild. So you can look at that as, okay, hey, we didn't get worse. We stayed the same. It's whatever. Tua should not have this type of pressure, but he's going to. Here's the other thing, too. Reality is reality. Tua's going to have this pressure. And the day and the moment Watson gets traded, if he goes somewhere else besides Miami, bro, it's going to be crazy. Cap for Life. Hypocrite Island has a lot of people traveling to visit for this summer. Stevie D, question. Why do people that didn't want Watson before want him now? I'm going to answer that question for you, Cap for Life, and I've answered it on the show before. Because the Miami Dolphins fans have PTSD, bro. They have PTSD. For 20 years, 30 years if you really think about it, we had the greatest quarterback of all time. Couldn't win a Super Bowl. And since he's left, he left a curse on our franchise if you really think about it. There's been no quarterback to even come close to what he was, let alone stay here for a long tenure. The longest tenured was Ryan Tannehill, who, by the way, is winning now in Tennessee. We're a traumatized fan base. And so I think the other reality is, too, is we don't know what a good quarterback is. We say we know what a good quarterback is because we see one from afar. We see Aaron Rodgers from afar. We see Peyton Manning from afar. We've been living with Tom Brady for 20 years in the same division, who, by the way, has been killing it. So because they are not those three type of guys, anybody we have is a complete and utter failure. The reality is you need a good, great defense to win a Super Bowl. You do not need a good or great quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You just need a quarterback that's not going to lose you the game. Which, by the way, I don't think anybody here has blamed Tua for any losses per se. And if they are, one or two in his rookie year, so what? So to answer your question, Cap for Life, Dolphins fans don't know what they want. They just want to win. That's it. That's all they want. They want to win. What's going to help us win a Super Bowl? Is Deshaun Watson that guy? I don't know. Is Tua that guy? I don't know. I think they both could. But whatever the direction the franchise decides to go is going to be a direction that hurts or helps this franchise for the next 5 to 10 years. So now we're going to have to do another 5 to 10 years of this. Because the reality is if Tua is good and we let Deshaun go, we won, right? We gambled the right way. If Deshaun goes and balls out and Tua's average, fans are going to be like, we had a chance to get Deshaun Watson, just like we had a chance to get Drew Brees. Just like we had a chance to get Dante Culpepper before we got Dante Culpepper. A lot of people don't remember there was a trade on the table for Dan Marino for Dante Culpepper, and Dan Marino decided to retire. Just saying. I'm just saying. You think Tua punch in the air? Rumors, yeah. Houston in the house. Tua got U-Haul on speed dial. We're going to see. We are going to see. One thing I know is if we don't trade for Watson and Tua still struggles, Flo and Greer finna hear it from everybody. True story. Let's see here. Who wanted Watson before and not now? Question. Chris Johnson wants to know in the chat. A-Rod said, Watson is a proven commodity. Tua is still a question mark. Let's see here. Blake Bortles didn't lose the Jags the AFC Championship game. You're not, hey. Blake Bortles is a totally different story, bro. The only reason he lost was the Broncos. That's literally it, and that's because of the sorry online play. I don't know what you guys are talking about there. Let's see here. Finns fans want anything that is brand new. New toy they see. Lakers all day, dope. Is there any way we can get Watson? See, I mean, look, here's a reality, guys. Watson equals playoffs, maybe Super Bowl. Maybe Super Bowl. Tua equals maybe. Yeah, kick rocks and flip-flops. Tua and Watson are miles apart in skill level and performance. Yeah. Guys, all right, I'm about to defend Tua now. Let's get something straight. Before I say what I'm about to say, understand this. If you have an opportunity to go get Deshaun Watson, I think you pull the trigger. I think you do. I think it is the right bet to pull. Now, with that being said, we don't know what Tua can be. We have ideas of what Tua can be. We have glimpses of what Tua can be. Arizona, Kansas City game. Like, we got to understand. We're talking about a guy who played in 9 games in the NFL and asking to compare him to one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. That's been in the league for a few years. That's not fair. You can't do that. Listen to me, Dolphins fans. You can't do it. It's not fair. You shouldn't do it. Now, the reality is Tua could be better than Deshaun. Not likely, but could be. The potential's there and the skill is there. So if the Dolphins decide, you know what? We could pull the trade on Deshaun, but we like Tua. Understand this. If the if the trade for Houston ends up being something like 3 first-round picks, a few starters, Miami could have pulled that trigger in a minute. And that tells you right there what the front office thinks of Tua Tagovailoa. That means they believe in him. And here's the other point, too. If Deshaun gets traded to Miami and we keep Tua, that doesn't mean that the front office doesn't believe in Tua. It just means they're doing what's best for the franchise. And right now, the best thing for the franchise could be Deshaun Watson. Could be. Guys, I truly think he's going to end up in Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia is going to overpay. They're going to overpay for him. Watson fans are crazy. He's God to them. He can do nothing wrong. It's funny. Word of mouth. Why everyone think Watson hit his ceiling at only 25? Shaking my head, bro. Watson is still developing and getting better. Fantasy fan panel. We just drafted him last year. Tua. Dami says we need 3 years minimum to see what Tua can do. Chris says haven't seen Tua healthy. I mean, look. Omar Kelly said Tua's arm died last year. Big red flag. Really? We're talking about a guy who hadn't thrown in over a year and a half with no training camp and no preseason, not red flag. The reality of what last year was. The fact that we are in a position, Steven, that lets you know what our coaches think Tua can be. Yep. Stop comparing Tua to Watson, bro. I'm not. I'm trying to tell people not to. I'm just trying to go through the comments here. Why would he want to play for Philly? They don't have anyone on their offense, bro. He wants the hell out of Houston. And if Philly's the only team that's offering, Houston will make his life a living hell to make sure that he goes to Philly. I understand he has a no-trade negotiation, but mark my words, he wants to go somewhere that's best for him, and after this whole legal trouble, he needs to do everything he can to make sure he's looked at in a positive manner. And he's not going to be looked at in a positive manner in Houston. So mark my words, Houston has the upper hand right now. Don't think that they don't. Steve St. Gerard said, what Super Bowl did Watson just win? Sounds like we're just talking about potential. Word of mouth says, don't matter, too young for his arm to be dying. How old is Tua? Big Drip says, I want to win now. Yeah, certified. Trust me when I tell you, if we already had a package for Watson, then that's what to say we don't make another. Rodgers wants out, shouldn't we? So, look, there was another rumor over the weekend that supposedly Aaron Rodgers is going to retire this week. If that happens, oh my God, it'll be crazy. I really don't think that Green Bay cares, by the way. I don't. If they did, they would have traded him already. Chris Val says, ship is sold on Watson. We drafted Tua and got to stick with the kid. As a Finns fan, I want Tua to throw 300 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. That's the norm now. I want to watch competitive football. People, emotional opinions, cloud judgments, and facts will always win. Out there is nothing wrong with trying to do better. That's why people never get anywhere in life. I don't think his arm died. I think his Tua is probably getting used to his hips, using his hips and throws. I'd rather have Rodgers than Watson. No, disagree with you. I'd rather have Watson than Rodgers. Burrow and Tua had the exact same rookie campaign, but Burrow threw over 100 more times than Tua. Burrow is going to the Hall of Fame. Tua's a bust. I don't get it. I agree. Roger is good too, though, but I want Watson, though. Sean Tunzel said, hey, I know firsthand where he wants to go and why he wants to go there. Where, Sean? Tell us, Sean. I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers is a rich dude, can go host Jeopardy's if he bored. I think that's where he's going. I think Jeopardy has an offer on the table for him, and I think that's where he's going. I think he's going to go host Jeopardy. Now, if we trade a quarterback, then we have to include Tua in the deal. It's not fair to the kid to make him sit after promising that his team and we believe in him. If the trade happens, let's talk about that. If the trade happens, SoFlo, I agree that there is a level of respect to the player. Hey, bro, what do you? I think Flo. Let's say Houston says we don't want Tua, which I don't think they would, by the way. I think they would take Tua in the pick. But let's say they didn't. Let's say we get Deshaun Watson and Tua's not involved in the deal. I think the Dolphins then go to Tua and say, what do you want to do? I think they would say, we want you here. We want you to learn from Watson. Let's see what happens in another year and next offseason and go from there. I truly think that would be the case. I think they respect him enough to ask him what he would want. Because no matter what, the Dolphins would win in that scenario. Right? You let him sit in offseason, you build up his trade value, and then you say, hey, Deshaun's our guy. Look at what he did this year. We take the highest bid for Tua. and we would get a damn big. Now, if Watson underperforms and we get to keep him for a year, all right, we're kind of still stuck in the same place we are with a lot more turmoil within the fan base. Tua, Watson, Tua, Watson, Tua. Like, that's exactly what you would hear for the next year. And let Deshaun Watson go out and struggle if Tua's still here. Bro, the arguments, the calls and disgruntled fans would be so crazy. Would be so crazy. I mean, it would be unreal. If you really want to sit and look at it, the Miami Dolphins have a few different things, right? The Miami Dolphins have an offensive line, a young nucleus. I truly think that they do. The big question mark is center. That can be addressed in next offseason, as well as even in this offseason. Here's another thing, too. Let me pause for a second of my thought process here. There was no post-June 1st cuts, which means there are players that will be cut from other teams that will be of starting caliber. Whatever it might be. It might be because of salary cuts. It might be because a team decides they want to go younger at a position. It might be, hey, this coach and this player didn't get along. Whatever the case is, there will be post-June 1st cuts that will happen that will benefit the Miami Dolphins. By the way, I think one of them will be running back. Just saying. Elder Bruce says, hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button, man. If you haven't hit that like button already, please go hit that like button. 67 of y'all watching, only 36 likes. Hit that like button. Let's go. Look, the other thing, too, if you want to look at it from that standpoint, is, let's not forget that Tua's on a rookie deal and Watson cap hit is $16 million. If we go get Watson, Howard's out the door. Because there's no way I think we can afford them both. That's real. The happiest people on this roster if Tua gets traded to Miami will be the receivers and offensive coordinator. Xavier to Texas for Watson. That's a dream scenario. That's not going to happen. Houston is rebuilding. They do not need Xavier Howard. Get that trade out of your head. Not going to happen. Tigro, thank you for watching the show. Appreciate the love and support. I remember being sold on Cam Newton the same we are on Watson now. I'm afraid in the long run, if we get him, but I do want Watson in Miami. So on center, why didn't the Dolphins extend Ted Karras? I think there was a locker room thing. I really do. I think, and look, there's different rumors out there about the Ted Karras situation. Delusional Patriots fan, but what I would say is I think that when you look at what the Miami Dolphins are doing, you have to understand that they're making sure that they leave certain guys in here because they want certain locker room guys. And I think that they're drafting guys that are their guys. They're bringing in free agents, and if those free agents don't hit, it's not a big deal. I don't think money to them is the big deal. They want to make sure they have the right guys in here. And by the way, that's the Belichick way. That's the Patriot way. So, I mean, let's get that straight. Miami has options at the quarterback spots. Don't have to stick with Tua. If Tua can deliver the deep ball, if Tua can't deliver the deep ball, then trade should happen. Douglas says, how many more days till the opening of training camp? Can't get here soon enough. Right there. Jabari says Ted Karras was mediocre at best. They would want Tua, Waddle, and a first and a third. Camp starts tomorrow all day. The way your dog Skura made me believe Skura was a 37-year-old center. Skura is still young, and he's the best center on the team today. He is the best center on the team today. The question is he the right center for us? I'm telling you, yips play a big factor in what the Dolphins are doing to process this thing moving forward. It's mental with the center. Do you guys remember the game I can't remember the game, but it was Pouncey. Pouncey was absolutely amazing for us 90% of his career, in my opinion. But I remember a game Pouncey made like 2 mistakes on snapping out of the shotgun, and the ball, I think even one of them might have been returned for a touchdown. Or it was like the very next play, it was a touchdown. But whatever it is, it happened twice or 2 or 3 times in the same game. And the yips are a real thing. And I think that if you can get inside your head to be like, oh man, I better, like, I think that's where Skura's at. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see what happens with that. Yeah, Chef Jew, I'll make that happen. With Skura, if Skura has the yips, then you have to understand that's not a matter of playing. That's a matter of, that's a mental thing. We know Skura can play when he balls out. He's one of the best centers in the league before he had the yips. One of the best centers in the league. And so it'll be interesting to see that, you know. Explain what the yips are. All right, so the yips are, by definition, a mental mishap when you are doing something repeatedly over and over again. And you are making an error, but you're inside your own head. It is commonly referred to pitchers in baseball. Pitchers in baseball get the yips when they're throwing 100 miles an hour and they can't seem to hit the strike zone. Those are the yips. The yips in football would be for a center not being able to hike to the center consistently the same time. So I'm very interested to see, you know, that's what the knock on Skura is. Skura was PFF's top 5 center in football before he had those mental errors. And he had 1 game and 2 games and 3 games, and it was not good. He was consistently turning the ball over. And so Baltimore benched him. And so, you know, that's what you have to look at from there, right? And so it'll be interesting to see. John Lester can't throw to first base. No, he cannot, Matt Cain. That's it. That's a case of the yips. Now, John Lester can also throw you out, so he doesn't always have to throw to first, which is good for him, right? Skura has to start reading Playboy magazines to calm down before he snaps. Nice Major League reference there, SoFlo. Nice Major League reference. My favorite part is when he gets up. Candace loves to like take long walks off the beach, and like it's, if you guys want to see a funny movie, Major League Baseball Back to the Minors, I think is the one, or is it the second one? Was it the second one, Major League 2, where that was? Let me know. I think it was Major League 2 or Back to the Minors, but either way, it was funny. Let's see here. Guys, if you guys want to talk, get into hashtag DolFan Chat this morning. Get into the chat room. Let's talk. Ask your questions. I'll answer them. I want to talk to you. You know, the morning show is going great this morning. 38 likes, 61 people watching. We've had really good watch this morning. So it looks like you guys are doing the right thing. You guys are sharing the content. You guys are liking it. Let's go. Make sure you hit that like button. Finsanity said Major League Back to the Minors. Underrated movie, by the way. Very underrated movie. It is a cult classic, and I love it. Walter says, clear that you are biased, fave for Tua. Like I said, if that hip and arm can't deliver the deep ball in camp, Roger or Watson should happen. Team has options. I'm not biased for Tua. I'm just, Walter, you think I'm biased for Tua? I think we should go with Tua over those other 2 guys, but I also would say that if the Dolphins have a chance to get Watson, they take it. They should take it in a minute. Not 5 first-round draft picks. That's crazy. Not when you have a young guy like Tua. Think about it. I want you to think about this, Walter. If Miami gives up 5 first-round draft picks, something Stupid. Gives up 5 first-round draft picks, trades Tua away, by the way, in that process. Gets Watson, and Watson bombs. Miami's left holding an empty bucket when it's all said and done. I'm just saying. Like, stupid. Shouldn't happen. Now, if Miami has to give up 3 first-round picks, gets to spread it out, gives away a couple of starters, I'm okay with that. I am clearly okay with that because what happens at that point is the Dolphins, even if Watson bombs in Miami, they still have a chance to go correct it in a draft in the near future. I'm just saying. No way in hell that they give up 5 first-round draft picks. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Estefan says, hey, Steven, why did it take you 9 movies to realize Fast Series sucks? For those of you, last night I went to go see F9. And here is my compilation of last night's movie. And I'm not giving away any spoilers. Family. Unbelievable thing that would never happen in real life. Family. Another unbelievable thing that would never happen in real life. Family. That's the entire movie. That's it. That's all the movie is. Oh, and I forgot to add cameo, family. Cameo, like, that's all it is. That's all it is. Guys, Cardi B was in the movie. Cardi B was in the movie. That's all I'm going to say. Self-flows. All right. Why would any team give up 5 first-round picks? It's not common sense. It won't even be discussed, especially with his baggage. Watson is MVP type. Tua is not. Walter, you don't know what Tua can be. Why are you basing Tua on 9 games? Explain that to me. That's not fair for the kid. You think Deshaun Watson was great after 9 games? I would like for somebody to go look up the first 9 games of Deshaun Watson's career against Tua's first nine games. They're probably similar. If not, Tua's might even be better. I'm not saying I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd be willing to say that that's probably true. 5 first is ridiculously high. I'm not saying it's not. But I also think 3 first and 2 seconds is high too. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all if that's the case. Now, if Miami has a chance to give up, hey, Dolphins, we want 3 first-round draft picks, 2 starters, and maybe a 4th or a 5th. Maybe a 3rd. Maybe. But it'd be like a 2024 third. I would take that trade. I would take that trade in a minute. We have tradable assets that would help Houston. Jakeem Grant, Devontae Parker. You got to remember, they need people to help them rebuild. So, like, I hear you, Walter. I do. But the reality is that is what's being discussed. Reports out of offseason is his hip and his arm is not elite. Like I said, he can't deliver the ball and can't trade if that needs to happen. What reports? A report? 1, maybe 2 reports? Everything I have read and seen out of the offseason is Tua's gotten stronger and better and has learned the playbook now. So, Walter, you and I are reading totally 2 different things. Now, I'm telling you, the man is going I'm not, Walter, I want you to stay watching the show. I want your support, brother. I do. But, bro, understand this. We don't know what Tua can be yet. We don't. That's my argument with you. And for every bad report you can bring, I can bring a report saying the opposite. As a matter of fact, I could probably bring 3-1 to you. For every one report you say that's negative, I can bring you 3 great ones. Herbert was the pick. Tua was forced onto the fan base because of Alabama. What are you talking about, Walter? Alabama has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the Miami Dolphins. Tua was picked because Flo and Greer thought he was the guy. Point blank. And if you remember anything about the reports of Justin Herbert coming out of college, it was his accuracy and arm strength, which clearly was wrong, by the way. Clearly. But that was the knock on him. Okay? So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, Tua's here because that's what the upper management wanted. Not ownership. I don't want to hear that argument. It was Greer and Flores who had the final say of that damn pick. So understand that. That's one. Number two. Okay? Number two. If you have a chance to go get a top 5 quarterback in the league, a current top 5 quarterback, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm saying you shouldn't give up the world for it. And to me, my ceiling is 3 firsts and a couple of starters. That's it. Anything more than that, have a nice day. Keep it moving. The reality is, Tua is this is the NFL. This is not Division II football. I like your show, diehard Dolphins fan, 100. Walter, I love you, bro. I've had some serious arguments up here with Pete. Pete will tell you. AB will tell you. Look, you give it out, I'll give it back. That's what I like about this show. But understand this, bro. There is nothing in any way, shape, or form. Nothing. 3 firsts, holy crap. Look, NorCal, that's the reality. That's what you're going to have to give up minimum to get Tua. And if you give up anything less than that, Greer's a freaking genius, which I already think he is. That doesn't happen in real life either, bro. No owner is ever going to say, draft this guy or you're fired. They can influence the pick, but not that much. And it's not happening with this one. Herbert's reports were so bad. Do you remember the mock drafts? Herbert was killed. Herbert plays in Oregon. Erger can't play against the SEC defense, which means he can't play against an NFL defense. Bro, seriously. Tua was all Greer, fantasy fan panel. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it. He said 100, Steve. Hey, bro, all day. AB says, I don't believe these rumors and sources. They say Flores didn't want Tua. Yeah, me neither. At all. One thing no one is mentioning, if Tua's not going to make it, what about Brissett? I'm not getting into that argument with you, Mike. At all. SoFlo, Herbert's going to have a sophomore slump. I can feel it. I could be wrong, but I just feel like defenses may start to figure him out. Correct. You are correct about that. 100%. I do believe that. Scar 305. Well, X would equal 2 first rounds and a first and a second. Dolphins got offered 1 first for X, but they wanted more. Here's what I say. X is worth 2. You'll never get 2. So you either have to package them up in a 3-team deal or a nice little trade with a bow on it to get close to what he's worth. Going to have to add something else in that deal. Big John with the $5 donation. Thank you, Big John. I appreciate it. Said, oh my God, people, really? I like it. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you guys can hit the YouTube Live Super Chat. You guys can also do it through Cash App. which is MSM Podcast Network with the $ in front of it, or PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network, or right here on YouTube. Just use the YouTube Live Super Chat with the $ down at the bottom of the chat, and you guys can donate to the channel. Helps the channel grow. If we see Brissett, it's going to be sad, but we can win games with Brissett better than we did with Tua. What? You need to clarify that more, Pete. Let's see here. Tua is fine. What's going on here? Marino's GOAT. What is going on here is a fan base wants to win now. Wants to win now. Herbert has two big boys on the outside over there in California. Nothing happened to him but yards. You can make that you can make that bet. But if defenses start stacking 8-man in the box and start rushing Justin Herbert, he's going to have time to throw it. Or if they start playing nickel and understand what these two wide receivers are going to do on the out, like I'm telling you right now, I would agree. I think Herbert's going to have a slump. That's what I think. Angel says, I think some of these people are trolling. Angel Ortiz, everybody. Guys, just so you know, coming out probably next week. I'm not sure if it'll be this week, but if it is, I'll let you know. But Angel will be debuting his podcast right here on Miami Sports Music, which I am super excited about. The Fire and Ice Combat Sports Show hosted by Angel Ortiz. So, guys, make sure you guys check that out. Also, if you wanted to see a really good Dolphins chat roundtable, we also had a roundtable on Thursday, this past Thursday, which is still up on YouTube. Make sure you guys go check that out. It's really, really good. I had K Flexen. I had Reason up there. I had Wade. I had the guys from Hellfins. It was awesome. Absolutely amazing. And if you speak a little Espanol, remember, guys, I also have a Spanish-speaking podcast. Not myself. I have Armand, Chochos, and Paris, Spanish-speaking Miami Dolphins podcast from Dolphins Nation, Mexico. Shout out to them. Great podcast, guys. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys go check that out. All right, back to the talk right here on the #1 Miami fan show. I'm talking about Clack Blackers. Guys, real quick, too, if you guys haven't done so already, sign up, join to become a member. Where are my members at in the chat? Tell them that they should sign up. Let's get some new members. Welcome to the family. You come here today on the day of my daughter's wedding. Okay, look, come here. Let's go. Let's go. Super excited about it. As to Finn, Steven, stop. Y'all are crazy. If you stack the box on Herbert, he's going to burn you. As a rookie, he was ridiculous. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm telling you right now, defenses are going to get smarter with Justin Herbert, bro. It just is. It just is. They are. All right, I will open up the chat for a little bit. If you guys want to come on, I wasn't going to open up the chat. I was going to do a little bit quicker show. I'm not going to stay on long today, but I do want to hear from you guys. So, and Big John told me to drop the link about 3 or 4 times, and I can't ignore him. So I need to do that. So if you want to get in, there's the link. Come in. I'll keep you on for a few minutes. Tell me your quick thoughts about all the conversation this morning, because it's been a fun show this morning, and I want to talk with you guys. Also, guys, sign up to become a member. Do that. Let's go. I'll wait for you guys to get on if you guys want to get on. Let's see here. Finn's fan panel. New coach, new system, hashtag Herbert slump. P.S. Rest of the NFL figure out Herbert like Finn's and Pats did. Just saying. Walter Rivel, L.A. put their resources in their line and paid their running back. Offense will be stacked. Bro, Cam Akers just went down. They got no running backs there, sir. None. Absolutely none. All rookies. All unproven rookies. All right. Let me bring in my boy. Pull out this. What's up, Big John?
What's going on, bro? I'm sorry. I had to tell you to drop the link. I just couldn't take this ridiculousness anymore.
Well, hey, look, the floor is yours, my friend. Welcome to the show. Thank you for getting on, and tell these people what's going on.
Listen, man, first of all, if anybody gives up 3 picks for Deshaun Watson when we don't even know what's going to happen as much as he's an upgrade, I think you're insane. If we sat here the other day and spoke about resources and not spending them correctly, let me ask you guys a question. As good as Deshaun Watson is, he has had 2 knee injuries, right?
Yes.
He has had 2 torn. He has had a torn knee before, so it ain't like the guy is bulletproof. So we're trading 1 injured knee for an injured hip and 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, something like that.
And on top of that, Tua's cap hit is like $6 million this season, something along those lines.
I see.
Deshaun Watson's $10 million this year, and he's like 20 to 40
more than that,
mil.
actually. Yeah.
No, he's like 10 mil this year. 10 mil. That's why
Okay.
the trade would be easy. He's like 10 mil. But the year after that, he's like 25 to 40 mil.
Yeah.
I understand how good Deshaun Watson is, but what are you going to do when you got to give up defensive players that you have now?
You're going to have to look at and understand that I don't think you can use the money argument yet. That's the salary cap, because Miami has a lot of salary cap moving forward.
Oh, I understand. I understand that. But at the same time, if we're trying to get a piece for another player next season or whatever the case is, like they always do, and they want to stay flexible, flexibility goes right out the window. So basically, you're going to hope.
I thought it was 16 mil. Watson's 16 mil in terms of cap hit this year.
This year, that's what they were saying. Well, I heard yesterday 10, but okay, 6, even worse. You're making my point even better.
Well, look, I said this. If Watson does get traded here, you like Watson or X is out the door because you got to get rid of his cap. Right? So, look, here's the reality. If Miami has to give up anything more than 3 first-rounders, I don't think it's worth it. I don't. And X is not going to be a part of any trade in Houston. And Tua might not even be.
Look, to be sincere, the only place I see Xavier and Howard going right now, which is why I don't believe that Tua gets traded. First of all, we have 1 day till a training camp opens because we open training camp tomorrow. Okay? That's 1. 2, every team, like Reason said yesterday, that could trade for a cornerback signed a cornerback, except for Arizona. I could see Chandler Jones come into Miami because he requested a trade. They get a corner, we get a pass rusher. But
you're going to trade one upset player because of a contract for another upset player because of a contract. I don't know if Miami does that.
Aren't we just going to trade, supposing we trade for Watson, aren't we trading one knee for another? Because as much as
but a quarterback's totally different, Big John. You know that. Like a quarterback can change the direction of your franchise for years. For years.
Okay, that's because everybody wants to look at the positive. But if we're being realistic, even though I'm going to disagree with EM, which that means he'll probably pop up in 15 seconds. At the end of the day, I understand that Tua is according to everybody, by every metric, Deshaun's an upgrade. I get that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't guarantee you a winner because, to me, Deshaun Watson on this team, if you have to give up X or you have to give up picks, feels a lot like Dan Marino back in the day when we had a quarterback but didn't have a running game, or had a quarterback and didn't have a defense. So you can score 40 points a game, but we didn't go anywhere. We didn't get anything. He was here. He threw for yards, threw 5 touchdowns, came back off a torn Achilles, stuck it to the Patriots. Irving Fryer put his hand in the air. What did that do? Nothing. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. It didn't do anything. So go ahead.
Walter says 2 first, seconds, or thirds, but Howard will have to go in the trade. He's from Houston. Howard will be for the fan base in Houston. 20-30% in ticket sales and merchandise. Bro, no way Howard's going to be more in ticket sales than Deshaun. That I'm telling you right now. X going to Houston will not happen. If it does, I'll eat my words. I'll shut up.
I don't think it's happening.
But they're in a rebuild. And they're not going to pay $20 million for a player a year, mind you. for a player that is the best at his position. Just not. It's not going to happen.
Not only that, if you really think about it, Deshaun Watson has the ball in his hands on every play most of the time, and you're paying $20 million to a guy who doesn't have the ball in his hands all the time. If you're Houston, and you're not in a win now situation
at all,
so you're going to pay money for a guy who let's say he does get 10 picks, but 10 picks in a season aren't going to win the Texans anything. So I don't really see why that trade would go down. The only trade I see plausible right now would be either Cleveland, like I said the other day, or Arizona.
I could see Green Bay in there too. Don't knock on Green Bay. Not that I think Rodgers is going to happen, but I could totally see Green Bay saying, "Hey, we want X. Why not?" I could see Green Bay going after X, man. I could see them paying them too.
Who are we going to get?
I think they would give up draft picks, which I'm fine with, by the way. I'm fine with. I don't need any of their players. Give me good amount of draft picks, which I think is a first and maybe a third, maybe. I would be okay. Look, here's the reality. I agree X is worth 2 first, but you're never going to get that for him.
No, you're not going to get that. He has got
so
he's 28 going at 29.
I could see the Dolphins saying, "Hey, take X, take his contract, give me a first and a third, we'll call it a day." I could see that happening. Let's see here. Scar, Watson is elite, something we hope Tua can be. That's the reason why. It's premature to trade for Watson when we don't know what Tua will be, but the Dolphins did it themselves being ahead of the rebuild. Scar, I have to disagree with you. If you have a chance, and Big John, this is my point. If you have a chance to go out and get a top 5 quarterback in the league, which is what Watson is, nobody's denying that. You're not denying that, right? Watson's top 5 quarterback in the league, correct?
You thought you're asking me? Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. If you have a chance to go and get a top 5 quarterback in the league, you have to pull the trigger as long, mind you, as long as you're not giving up your long-term and short-term future.
But at the end of the day, that's the problem. That's what, in my opinion, of course, EM, when he pops on, is going to disagree. But that's what I think you're doing. Because you're basically
But 3 first-round picks, I don't think – it's not – you're not giving up 3 years.
3 first-round picks means you're not picking any players in the top.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We got 2 picks next year, right? In the first?
Yeah. Now, the only way I would see that different – see, me – If you trade Tua and you get a first, like I told you a scenario I sent you a message one time and I said, listen, what about if the Dolphins trade X to Houston, and at the end of the day, somehow, some way, Pittsburgh gets involved and Pittsburgh takes Tua and reunites Tua with Najee Harris. I could see something like that because you'll get picks back.
We have. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is what we have. We have 49ers and our first-round pick next year, so that's 2. And in 2023, we have the 49ers and our first-round pick. So that's 4 first-round picks for the next 2 years. I am okay giving up 3 first-rounders in the next 2 years. Because here's a reality. You give up 3 first-rounders. Mm-hmm. X is not involved in that deal. We already all agree with that. And you trade X, you get a first round back for him. So in theory, you're only giving up 2 first-round picks for Xavier and Howard. I make that trade all day, Big John, all freaking day.
No, I'm not saying that you don't make the trade. Like I said, I look at it from 2 different perspectives. Everybody's looking at it from the positive. But my problem is I would make that trade right now with no hesitation if he did not have 22 lawsuits against him. Even though you're innocent till proven guilty, first of all, the NFL doesn't know what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson.
No, and you know what the offseason
So that's the – one second. So that's the problem. Now, if you tell me, okay, that we go with Tua this season and Tua doesn't get it done, as much as I wouldn't get rid of him, and you want to look at it next season, that's fine. But you don't need – what if you trade for Deshaun Watson right now? And a week and a half after you trade for him, they put him on the exempt list. Then what do you do?
Here's the thing. So, and I'm gonna bring Estefan in here too. Estefan, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on? What's good, y'all? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Wow, that's a cute hat. That man will get me.
I'm outside. I was outside doing some lawn work.
Hey, Estefan.
What's up?
Spurs suck.
He knows that.
What's that?
I said the San Antonio Spurs suck. That's what I said.
You wish, buddy. You wish.
All right, come on. I know you want to.
You know my take on that. I don't gotta entertain that, bro. We know we're kings, bro. We know y'all peasants, bro. Y'all peasants.
You guys
know what I mean? We don't entertain that, bro.
You guys may be the kings in Texas. That's about it.
Not South Florida, baby. Miami Heat all day. All right, Estefan, come on. Give me your take. I know you got something. I know you got. Come on. I know you got something.
Yeah, no, I heard what Big John been saying about Watson. Here's my thing. Even if you feel that, we had, and I agree with you, we had Marino, we didn't do anything with him. But the window that we have now, we didn't have that with Marino. This kind of a defense with the legit quarterback, we just never had it. And as far as the trajectory that Flores is on and his coaching style, I don't think Shula was at that level defensively, to be honest with you. I just don't think, and I love Shula, bro. I love Shula, but defensively, I don't think he was on Flores' level. You know what I mean? I really believe in Flores that much, man, where at some point I feel like you got to gamble, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them making this gamble for Watson, regardless of anything that's happened. He is innocent until proven guilty, and the fact that what I was going to get to was you have to gamble at some point. To look at what happened with Tampa, they gambled, they went and got Brady, they made some moves. You got to do the same. You got to make moves, man. You got to make moves. You got to at least try. You got to at least try to get to the Super Bowl. That's where I'm at. So right now, I like Tua. I think Tua's done everything that you could possibly do in the offseason to get his body right. And where I'm at, what's scary is Finsanity mentioned it in the comments earlier. She was saying physically Tua looks amazing. But what if he looks amazing physically and he's still not at the level that the coaches are wanting him to be at? And they just don't think that he'll ever be at a level that they want him to be at. If they feel that way, then they gotta make the move. You gotta make the trade for Watson. That's where I'm at. It's not because I hate Tua or I don't like Tua or I don't believe in Tua, but if the coaches feel like they need to move on, then it's time to move on, bro. That's where I'm at. And a lot of people don't like hearing that. But that's what it is, bro.
No, I'm realistic, but here's my question to you. With Tua, you have a certain amount of leeway, because you're not expected to win right now. I don't think the Dolphins are a quarterback away from the Super Bowl. Now, if you bring in Deshaun Watson, and let's say he goes on the exempt list 2 weeks later, you're not making the playoffs. Jacoby Brissett on this team, if he plays 17 games, we're not making the playoffs. That's another season lost of a defense. If he didn't have any sexual allegations against him, I'd make the deal in a heartbeat. Okay, no problem.
So let me say this. Let me say this, Big John. Okay. The Dolphins do not make this trade unless they know backhand knowledge that the Houston DA is not going to file any charges, and they're also going to know that there's some backdoor deal with all of these victims to say we're not going to pursue any more charges. That's the only thing that I can see. Like, I think the Dolphins would do I think any team would, Philly included. All right, I'm going to bring a couple more people into the line here. Hold up. I'm going to bring Great One DeVore. What's up, Great One? How are you?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me.
No problem, man. Good to hear from you, brother. And I gotta bring in the guy that's been arguing with me all morning, man. Walter. What's up, Walter? Walter, you there, brother? Take yourself off mute, man. We don't hear you. All right, Walter tried to get on another one. Walter, are you there? What's up, Walter?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I always love your show, man. You do great content, bro. I love you. Dog. You do good.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. You're breaking up just a little bit, but go ahead and give me your take, and then Great One, I'll let you after that, and then I'll probably respond to Walter because we've been going at it all morning.
Just get me up to speed. What's going on? How we feeling about Deshaun Watson?
Man, look, Deshaun, baby, is the way to go, man. Like I think that if you have an opportunity to bring him in, you have to, if the price is right. And the price for me, by the way, the ceiling is 3 first and maybe some mid or a couple of players. So that's what I want to see with that, you know?
You want to be specific as far as those players?
Like, look, so, I mean, look, here's the thing. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. Here are the players that are rumored, right? I'm not saying all of them will happen, but let's look, right? So, number 1, you have Christian Wilkins. Number 2, Jakeem Grant. Number 3, Xavier Howard, which I don't think will happen. Number 4, Devontae Parker. And there's got to be another player or two that's probably in there that we're not even thinking about that's not coming up to the top of the head. But those are people that I think that would be it.
Would you consider giving up Raekwon Davis too?
No.
Nope.
No. Here's what I'll say. I think to get a top 5 quarterback, I'm considering almost anybody.
No, I'm not giving up Raekwon Davis.
By the way, I want it stated.
Raekwon Davis.
I want Tua. But if you have a chance to go get Deshaun, I say you go get him.
Here's the thing with me, because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If Deshaun Watson on the table, see you to it. Now, if Raekwon Davis and Christian Wilkins is what's going to cost for us to pull this trigger along with Xavier Howard, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that trade too as well. But I would see Devontae Parker being added in that deal because of the fact they do need some pass catchers down there in Houston.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, you would agree with me saying that there's no way X is a part of this deal, right?
You got to.
They don't need him.
Why don't they? Everybody needs.
They're rebuilding. Why? Great one. Answer me this. Riddle me this, Great One. Why would a team that's rebuilding pay $20 million for a person in the secondary?
Because he's from Houston, number 1, and then number 2, who doesn't need a shutdown corner on their roster? Let's keep it real here for a second. Because
repeat number 1. We didn't hear number 1. What was number 1 again?
I'm gonna do number 1 real quick. So I did that a little bit backwards. But
really?
Let's be real here. If the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans decide to be trade partners for this particular trade, we give them Christian Wilkins, Devontae Parker, and Xavier Howard. To be honest with you, and Tua, of course. They're not in the rebuilding stage anymore. They're just a couple pieces away from being a legitimate contender if we being 100.
Who, Houston?
Yes, they do.
No way, bro.
If that's the case, then why don't you keep everybody and keep Tua?
They've traded all their big name talent. They're gone.
I just gave you get Devontae. There's your pass catcher. You get Tua. You get technically your franchise quarterback.
So with your thought process, Great One, then we should be there. Then we should be Super Bowl contenders then, or playoff contenders.
Oh, you're talking about the Texans or the Dolphins?
I'm talking about what I hear. Let me explain what I learned in marriage counseling. What I hear you saying, Great One DeVore, is that you're saying that with this trade, whatever the Dolphins give up, right, is going to Houston won't be rebuilding. They'll then have the pieces to be a playoff contending team right away, right?
I'm not going to exactly say they're a playoff contender, but
so they're rebuilding.
Adding those players to the Texans put them on the right track from being a 5-year process to a possibly a year and a half, maybe.
There is no Estefan, do you agree with me that there's no way X goes in this trade?
Yeah. Man, dude, I think Chris Greer will and deal whatever he needs to, and I think X can
But
be a
why
part
would
of the
Houston
process.
want X? Can you explain that to me?
Why would they want him?
Yes.
Well,
He's going to cost them $20 million and a rebuild team.
Hold on.
It ain't a rebuild team if we give them 2 first-round picks.
Look, this a part of
EM,
you
I'm
have
bringing
to.
you in, bro.
I would say that you have to sell X to them, but I mean, you could even get rid of Jerome Baker, bro.
Thank God.
He's young. Why not?
Who said thank God?
I did.
How could you say such a thing? How could you say such a thing?
I could say it because 95% of the time when he gets a tackle, the guy's already on the floor. He cannot play through contact. His sacks are scheme-oriented. They're not him getting them because he's talented. We're not saying he's not talented, but he's not better than he's not as good as everybody wants to make him out to be.
Yeah, and you would be getting rid of what now looks like a.
Let's look at Emmanuel Ogba because most of his sacks came off of multiple blitz packages.
Emmanuel, you can say that.
Guys,
look at Emmanuel
EM is in the building.
Man, you crazy, great one.
I told you EM was coming on. I knew my controversy.
EM is in the. Oh, EM jumped off. EM, get back on, EM.
Look, man, the whole thing with Baker, getting rid of Baker would free up that horrible contract that you just signed him to. He should have never got that contract, yo. You know what I mean?
All right, Walter, the floor is yours, bro. Go ahead, Walter.
Baker shouldn't re-sign. Baker was forced. Like, come on, that money could have went a little bit somewhere else. Like Baker is not actually needed on the defense. He's not really needed. He's needed, but he's not needed like that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That little bit of money could have went somewhere else, in my honest opinion. But
he's one of your communicators on your defense. What you mean he's not needed on your defense?
They can plug in. Come on, he was a 3rd-round pick, 3rd, 5th.
So you know what, Walter? Though this is Walter. This is what the Dolphins did. The Dolphins did something they've never done. They gambled on a player that is currently on their roster that's showing potential and paying him before he has a breakout season that he's going to demand top money. And that's the deal that they made with Baker. We'll pay you now, but you have a great season. Don't come asking for more. Like you either gamble or we pay you now. And he took the money now. EM, what's up, bro?
They should have waited.
Like that, Big John, you know that's not.
Big John never said he was calling out EM. Big John said, I know EM's probably going to disagree with me. That's not calling out EM. That's me and EM just having a philosophical difference. Don't sit there and try to stir the pot, Steven. Don't do that.
I mean, why would I want to do clicks? Come on.
It's a joke, man. Come on.
You already know it's all love, Big John. You know what time it is, bro.
All right, well,
man?
What's your thoughts, man? Come on, I know you got thoughts about everything.
Well, I don't know if y'all caught Inside NFL yesterday. I had a lot, I had a lot to say yesterday. And it rubbed a lot of people. It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I'm sorry if people want to live and be controlled by their feelings. I'm sorry. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about, Deshaun Watson and the possibility of the Dolphins acquiring him, it's all business. I just think he's a clear upgrade over Tua Tagovailoa. And I think with the roster that they've constructed, the roster that we have now, the Dolphins are in win now mode. They feel like they can compete at a high level with a player performing at the level that Watson is currently at. And you can't blame Brian Flores and Chris Greer for, wanting to upgrade that position right now. Again, Deshaun, it's not like they're talking about, a player that's 35, 36 years old. This kid is 25 years old, right? He has been on a Pro Bowl level basically since he's been in the league. He's, obviously He's an upgrade physically. That can never be debated. And he's just on another level right now. We don't know. One thing we do know is that Tua will never be on his level physically. That'll never happen. Tua's not going to grow to 6'4". He's not going to be able to have that rocket arm that Deshaun Watson have, and he's not going to ever be able to run 4.5. That's just not possible. So Watson is on another level physically as well as mentally. The player that he is, the playmaker that Deshaun Watson is right now, it's unprecedented. A player performing at that level at that age ever in a 100+ year history of this league has ever come available. And I think it's just too enticing to pass up if you're the Dolphins. Now I don't know what the price. I see. Reason was texting me this morning. I had a chance to check my notifications and my checks. I think he texted me and said that the asking price is 3 first-round picks. I think and possibly more. But it's going to be a steep price. But at the end of the day, man, if you feel like you can get. He's going to enhance your team to the point where you can consistently, for the next 2 to 3 years, consistently compete for a Super Bowl. You pull that trigger and you don't look back. I'm sorry if it rubs people the wrong way.
Now, EM, what is the ceiling? What is? Are you? Let's be honest. So, Chris Mortensen is reporting that it's going to be 5 high picks. Are you giving up 5 picks for Deshaun Watson?
He needs to shut up.
Well, no.
Stop spreading that rumor.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I don't think it. This is posturing. This is all they're in the early stages of the negotiating process. The Texans are trying to maximize their situation, which they should, right? It's not going to take no damn 5 because nobody's paying that. Nobody's paying that. You can ask for it all day. Nobody is paying that. So at the end of the day, bro, I think 2 to 3 first-round picks. What I initially said should be, I think ultimately will be the price tag for him, and that's still, even 3 first-round picks is steep, but player at that age, and just
hold on a second. You said 3 first-round picks is pretty steep, right? So if you add Deshaun Watson on your roster, you're almost guaranteed to go into the playoffs almost every single year. So really, what are those first-round picks to you at that point? They're second-round picks.
Well, that's a good point. I get it. That's a good point.
You could always,
but it's still expensive though. It's 3. I mean, that's 3 first-round picks, bro.
You could always make a trade with another team for a guy like Nick Needham and get back into the draft. You know what I mean? I'm just saying we got a plethora of secondary players.
And I made this point, and what this team has done more so than anything in terms of draft, draft capital, they've proven that they can find gems later. They've proven they're better at, finding gems later in the draft as opposed to the top of it. So if you give up them first round picks, they've proven they can find gems in places later in the draft that other teams can't. I'll give them that credit. So they, where I'm coming from. My issue with them is they just haven't been able to maximize the topper, the upper tier, the upper level first round, in particular first round picks. So I think I think they're a young team. The foundation of the team has already been established. I pointed that out months ago, right? The foundation is laid. They're 2/3 of the way. They're 2/3 of the way away from really, really competing. That's a quote from Stephen Ross, not EM. So the only thing that's left is elite play at that position, in my opinion. And the Dolphins are obviously having that conversation, bro. That's their mindset. They're like, we can get better right now. It's immediate. No, I don't think anybody can. You can try, but there's no way you can sit up and try to argue how much of an upgrade Deshaun Watson is over Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, that's undisputable.
Well, I'm not going to sit there and say he's not an upgrade because that's not what I'm saying, because that would be insane to say, first of all. But what I am saying is, my only thing is this: even though it's innocent to proven guilty, and yes, I did hear you all last night because you went off and everybody didn't like it, but who cares? I enjoyed it. Trust me.
Big John, were they killing me last night? Were they killing me yesterday in the comments, bro? Were they trying to? Were they coming at me, bro? Because I couldn't see. I was outside.
No, yeah.
I was on the grill.
They weren't really killing. First, it was the whole Pete situation. Then it was the other guy who got kicked off for being a retard, but that's his problem. And then they were just, they always come at you, man, because me and you are controversial. We don't say what people want to hear. We tell you what we give
them the truth, baby. We give them the truth. We give them the truth.
This is why I said. This is why
I don't know about giving the truth all the time. This is why. I heard the bull jive.
That's funny.
No. Just because you don't think that my opinion is correct doesn't mean it's bullshit. Now,
I'm talking about
it just means it's not right. That's all.
I'm talking about EM.
But anyway,
really great one. Really great one. All right, go ahead, homie.
No, but my only disagreement is this. Okay, we've all been through the Marino era. Well, most of us up here. I don't know about everybody, but me, I went through it. I know Ian went through it. Steven was still in his mom's womb, but that's okay. He can always go back.
I was not in my mom's womb. Thank you very much.
But anyway, what is to me getting Deshaun Watson? If you have to give up all this capital, as good as he is, okay, to me it feels like Dan Marino all over again. As good as Dan Marino was, as many yards as Dan Marino put up, as excited as we were to watch him on Sunday, we didn't get anywhere. We had to give up defensive pieces, or we didn't have a running game, or there was always some other problem, and that's what it feels like we're going to go through again. That's one. Now, two, to me, the funny thing is we're trading one bad hip for a bad knee. Deshaun Watson has had knee injuries. Okay, knowing Miami's luck, what the hell is going to happen if we trade 3 first-round picks, Deshaun Watson goes to training camp, tears an ACL, and then Flores is really going to be on the hot seat because everybody's going to be questioning the trade to begin with. I get the potential, but I also
John, I got to interrupt you real quick. I asked you a question because you keep talking about this Marino era thing.
You go ahead.
We'd be fortunate to at least be at Marino era. We ain't even at that. Does Tua give you Marino era vibes? Because
that's not a fair question.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me answer your question. I'm going to answer his question. Hold on. He might not give you. Hold on. He might not give you Marina Arrow vibes just yet, but if he didn't have that type of swagger and that type of skill, we wouldn't have been talking about tanking for Tua for 2.5 years, bro. The entire fan base wanted Tua to get on the field. The problem was he got hurt.
Before his injury, the entire fan base was all about
Tua. Are you talking pre-Tua, before he was even drafted?
I was liking Herbert, man.
Before he was drafted.
You were liking Herbert,
bro?
Walter?
I wasn't liking no Tua, bro.
Time out. I need to get into this with Walter. Hold on. Wait. Time out. First of all, I'm going to bring in Lakers All Day. What's up, Lakers All Day? How are you?
What's up, man?
All right, Walter. You liked Herbert.
Love him.
Before the draft.
Yes.
Bro, come on, man. I need to see the receipts. Because there was so much knock on him. There was so much knock on him.
Size, speed, arm strength, knowledge.
But you got to realize, though, Steve, Herbert closed the gap with these other guys in the Senior Bowl in his combine, bro. That's where he closed the gap. If you were a Herbert naysayer, you had that seen what this kid done, and then seen his size and his arm, bro. And that's what swayed a lot of teams, and that's why he was a top 5 pick. I was not a Tua guy. You can ask EM. I was more for
Hurts.
What?
Joe Burrow.
Burrow, bro. I was all about Burrow, bro. I loved watching Burrow.
Yeah, but we didn't have a chance to get Burrow. So when it came down to it, Estefan, would you rather have had Herbert or Tua?
I would have went with Tua, to be honest. I would have went with Tua.
95% of the fan base would have said that. Walter,
but if I could go back in time now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, so hindsight.
You don't. And here's the thing:
what it is, man.
You don't think Herbert's going to have a sophomore slump, and that's for everybody?
I think Herbert's amazing, bro. I think that they just refined him. and it's what it is, bro. He's an amazing quarterback, bro.
Real quick. Let me jump in there a minute about this Let me jump in there about this Herbert situation. I tell you what ignores, pardon my language, but the shit out of me is when I hear people. They're all like your question. Oh, you don't anticipate a sophomore slump? Why are you rooting against this man? Why
I'm not, but it's the reality of what it is.
Hang on. My issue is, why do y'all have to try to take away from what this man accomplished to try to prop up to Tagovailoa? That is insane to me. I don't know why the fan base keeps doing that.
By the way, this is my first argument with EM. I feel so honored. I feel so honored to get into it with him.
I mean, damn, the man rewrote history. Just respect him. Listen, all three top quarterbacks, Burrow, Tua, and Herbert, had solid seasons. Herbert just was on another level this year.
EM, let me ask you something. Is there such thing as a sophomore slump?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm not. But y'all are banking on it.
I'm not banking on it. I'm forecasting it.
Slump.
I'm forecasting it. I'm not banking on it.
And it's for personal reasons. So y'all can say, see, Tua's up. See, look at Tua this year. Look at Tua this year.
So time out. Yeah. Look at the let's put them up side by side, right? And then I'll let EM talk, and I want DeVore and Lakers all day to talk, and then I'll get Miami football talk on. I got a lot of people up here. I'm not used to having this many people in the panel. All right, number one, EM. If you look at Tua and you look at Herbert and you compare, all right, when there was a lot of knock on Herbert because of his accuracy through interceptions and his arm strength, okay, when he came out of college. Tua's knock was injuries.
No, our arm strength was never an issue. Was ever a knock on
so accuracy. Let's go with accuracy. Fine. Accuracy. All right. And
Josh Allen.
Well, exactly. There was a lot of comparison to Josh Allen. And by the way, before this season, people didn't like him.
Mobility.
And Bills fans didn't like him. So there was a lot of comparison there. So that's one. And then Tua's knock was injuries. When he came down to it and you were sitting there at 5, the Dolphins could have done whatever they decided to do. What they decided to do is that Tua had the upper hand over Herbert because they liked Tua's play on the field better than Herbert's. Okay?
Right.
Now, whether you're right or wrong, that's the reality of what it is. Now let's look at their rookie years. Tua had to rehab still. He still wasn't at 100%. Herbert had a brand new coaching staff who had a playbook that was designed for him to succeed. And he had two big
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because Herbert wasn't a starter at the beginning of the season, bro. He was never.
He was groomed to be the starter.
Are you sure about that?
What do you mean he wasn't the starter at the year? And don't tell me Tyrod Taylor.
No, those are Anthony Lynn's words. No, Anthony Lynn said Tyrod is our starter.
And I found it real convenient that shot messed up Tyrod Taylor's lung.
Listen, man, I'm not into conspiracy theories. All I know is what
I'm saying. That's real convenient. Okay? Tyrod Taylor didn't get a chance. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anthony Lynn said and that probably ultimately got him fired.
I was about to say Anthony Lynn, who's no longer there.
He said, "Well, I'm going by what transpired last year." He said Tyrod is our starter. It's the reason why Justin Herbert is a backup. That's what he said. Now, so when y'all say these statements, he had a playbook designed specifically around. Can you really say that? Really, when he wasn't supposed to be the starter? Come on, man, stop. See, that's what annoys me with our fan base. No shade at anybody, but it's ridiculous. Y'all need to stop this foolishness, man. Stop.
All right. Lakers all day. Welcome to the show, bro. I apologize for making you wait, man. What's up?
Man? What's up?
Your thoughts on everything, man?
On what? On like the Deshaun Watson situation right now?
Yeah, just anything we've been talking about, man. Your thoughts. The floor is yours.
All right, cool. So we need to go get Deshaun, bro. No ifs, ands, or buts, bro. Like, we have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Tua, he's a great guy and all. He's a great quarterback, but right now, we haven't had no top 5 quarterback like Deshaun Watson, other than who else? Other than freaking Dan Marino, right?
Yep.
That's it. So why not go ahead, you know what I'm saying, go get Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do like a basketball analogy, right? Okay, so look, the Lakers, right? They went ahead, right, and they got AD, right, with LeBron James. So why not we go get Deshaun Watson, for our team with Waddle and probably Parker and Williams. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know what I'm saying, on defense, right? If we go move Xavier Howard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The free agency cornerbacks from like next year, they're gonna see that we have Deshaun Watson, and they might want to come and play for us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that too.
Finances.
Go ahead, Walter.
Finances. If the Dolphins end up trading Howard and end up getting another cornerback, it will have to be through the draft because with Xavier Howard's contract, and they're gonna have to pay some other parts on the defense to do the other quarterback position. They're gonna have to do it via the draft, and they can't do it via signings. That's why they signed Sue Cravens, but Sue Cravens can start. If Howard's traded, Sue Cravens is battling on the outside to start.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't hear any of y'all talk about the signings this weekend.
Yeah. Why do y'all say that we can't have Watson and X on the team together? I don't
exactly
because salary cap won't allow it. Salary cap won't allow it, bro.
X's contract was front loaded though. How is it that we can't make room for these guys?
X wants 18 to 22 million, right? And then Deshaun's going to cost 16 this year, and then 25 next year, right? Something
10.
like that.
No, 10.
I told you it was 10. You said 16.
10.
I've been here. Look, I've heard 10 and 16.
I told you 10. It's 10.
But even
this
still,
I
mean, that's still that's not a rollover cap hit.
Watson's minimum is 10, and his cap hit is 16.
To be honest with you, that's the move the Dolphins should make. They should be trying to, acquire Watson and keep X some way, somehow.
I mean, think about it and entertain it.
I just don't see there's any way it happens.
Before y'all all want to say no, just think about it just a second. How do y'all feel if we can keep X and get Watson about our chances going into next season? And I'm not talking just playoff. Y'all know it's not going to end at playoffs, bro.
We're just trying to win a game.
I'm telling you now, if they get Deshaun Watson and keep Xavier Howard, I mean, really, when you look at roster-wise, it's in the AFC, it's Kansas City, I think Cleveland, and the Dolphins. Those are the top 3 seeds in the AFC.
Bro,
wow.
I tell you what, EM, when I do my little mini vacay at Tampa Bay, I'm gonna be walking with my chest out like we're next. You know what I mean? With my Dolphin flag everywhere, bro. You know what I mean? We are next.
We are next. Dolphins.
See, now that would change my position if you keep X. That's what I mean by the Marino era. I'm not talking about just a quarterback. I'm tired of having a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards and we don't get nowhere. Now, you keep Xavier Howard and you get Deshaun Watson. I have no problem with any trade.
I want to back up on you. I want to back up on that, on the whole Marino thing, okay? Now, when Marino left, who did we pick up? We picked up Culpepper. We traded for Dante Culpepper, right?
Not right away, but yes.
Okay, so when we traded for Dante Culpepper was a great quarterback in the league. We picked him up, and he had injuries on what? His knees. We picked him up. He came to the Dolphins, and he did shit for us. He was shit. Now, don't you think that's similarity to the whole Watson?
That's why I didn't want
Watson is an issue off the field. Has nothing to do with injuries.
EM, we can't discount as much as we want to the fact that they're both injured. It may be a different injury, but they're both knee injuries, and it is an eerie similar situation. Now, that's
why is it an eerie similar situation?
Because
not in my estimation. Not in my estimation. No.
Okay, because they both had knee injuries. We did not pick the other player, which is exactly what we're doing now. Now we have the other player. That's what he's talking about. Now, I personally, if we're going to have to give up Xavier Howard, I would not want to trade for Deshaun Watson. If we keep him, that's a whole other ball of wax. That's a whole other difference because like me and him and you talked about the other day, if you have Xavier Howard on one side when he's always butt booty naked, like I said, but the man gets the job done, that's a completely different scenario. Okay, now if we have to give him up, I don't feel it's comfortable.
100%.
All right, Miami football talk. Go ahead. Everybody put yourselves on mute too, if you could.
No, I agree 100% with Big John. If we keep X, then I'm all for the whole Watson trade, because with X giving us the interceptions he does, Watson can convert that into points. Not saying Tua can't do it this year, but Watson's proven to be able to do it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So if we keep X, I'm all for the Watson trade. But if X is gone, forget it. I don't want Watson.
All right, hey, EM, I have a friend here who wants to talk. Pete's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for getting me up here, Steve. I'm in and out of the show. This is a great one. You got a great guy with panels up here, man. Shout out to everybody else.
Hey, this is definitely the best panel I've had in a long time.
Listen. This is because I'm in and out. You guys know I'm working, so I don't have that much time. I hear you.
All right, drum roll.
This Deshaun Watson, because when I was on here earlier with the Deshaun Watson talk, this is what I'm trying to pick it up, but it seems like you guys are leaning to where it's either going to be 3 first-round draft picks and some players. To me, the way I read that statement when it came with Watson, it seems to me it says a combination of 5 high draft picks. So that probably to me doesn't even necessarily mean it has to be even draft picks. It could be players worth to be trading for Watson. Would you guys agree? It's a combination.
Yeah.
Well, I know. If you believe the initial when we were talking about this, when the initial report came out in March, Christian Wilkins, which was he was a first round pick. He was rumored to be included in that initial trade. So I think that's still on the table.
Here's my thing with that, EM, and I'm glad you brought up Christian Wilkins. Right now, Xavier Howard is definitely in play. I think we're here all can agree. The reason why I think Xavier Howard is completely in play is because, at least to me, in my opinion, not only is he the best corner in the league, he's going to be worth 2 first-round draft picks, right? So that right there already lets us know him being in a trade value, if he's worth 2 first-round draft picks.
I don't think he's the best corner in the league.
That gives us almost like 3 more picks to go if you start adding and subtracting, right? If we involve Tua in there and Christian Wilkins, I don't know how the Texans value these 2 players. They were first-round draft picks for us in Miami. High picks as well, especially Tua. But do the Texans value them as first-round talent? And how much will they value them for? And I'm talking about Tua and Christian Wilkins.
Anybody could take that.
my only give me a second, Pete, so I can answer you because you're cutting in and out. My only reason for saying I don't know about that and I'm not even sure is the fact that I don't think the Texans want Tua. If the Texans wanted Tua, that'd be a different story. That's why I always say that I see if we make this trade, I see Deshaun coming to Miami. If X goes to the Texans, and I've always told Steven, look out for Pittsburgh trying to trade for Tua and reunite Tua with Najee Harris when they don't have a quarterback. That's what I've always said, because they don't want Tua. If they wanted Tua, it'd be a different story. I don't think the Texans want Tua.
How come everybody else don't want Tua, but we want Tua? I'm confused.
What do you mean nobody else wants Tua?
Wait.
Is there anybody?
Hold on. First of all, I don't think they want Tua. Listen, when was the last time you saw Houston make a good business decision?
Don't worry, we'll wait.
Well, yeah, I'm waiting because I mean
I'm just curious. Tua is better than every quarterback on their roster, so why wouldn't the Texans take Tua?
How do y'all know that they don't want Tua?
That's
what I want to know.
Big John,
what I
say about that is we don't know what the Texans want. But one thing we do know is that the Miami Dolphins are in quarterback talk and involved themselves in quarterback trade conversations 1 year after selecting one top 5. So we know the team that doesn't want Tua, and that's Miami.
No, and time out. Let me say something here. Just like fans have PTSD, the front office, like Steven Ross, look, Dan Marino is an advisor to the team, right? So you have to look at it from that standpoint that the team also is like, bro, we can't screw up on the quarterback situation again. We have to, if we have a chance to improve on this roster at any point in time, they're gonna execute it. They're gonna do it. That much I know about this team.
Look, Steven, this is the issue. The Dolphins obviously have the capital to do and upgrade the roster even more, right?
Yes.
They're going out, giving up all this capital, supposedly. These are allegations, right? That they're trying to trade for Deshaun Watson, right?
Yes.
But if they're willing to give up all of that, why aren't they willing to give up maybe less for a Christian McCaffrey? Won't that help out Tua?
Because Panthers will never give up Christian McCaffrey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or even go out and get 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen for all the capital you're
But a team's got to want to give that up.
But
It's got to be on the market.
Everything you're trying to give up for Watson, if they were really down to hold it down for Tua
Get him,
right now, they would use all that capital elsewhere. That's where the conversation would be. But it isn't. That's the issue.
Listen, Pete, the situation is this. I agree with you, but they need to want to trade Christian McCaffrey. If the Bulls had Michael Jordan, we could trade them our entire starting 5, and they would not go for the trade.
Nope.
There are certain people who are just untouchable, and to them, look, they have a better chance of trading for Saquon Barkley than we do for Christian McCaffrey.
In this business,
all day,
every man has a price.
But it's about being realistic, though, too, Pete.
Well,
and here's the reality: it's not like we're dealing with another Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien's not a GM no more.
That's what I mean. Like, when have you seen Houston make a sound business decision? They turned Laramie Tunsil into the greatest offensive lineman in the history of football, and he's still giving us picks. But the guy is not worth 5 first-round picks or whatever crazy shit we've acquired for him over the totality of the trade. You know? So it's like, as much as I would want Christian McCaffrey, they have to want to trade for Christian McCaffrey. They're not going to give him up for peanuts either. You're not going to get Christian McCaffrey. Look, you can tell the Panthers, we'll give you 3 first-round picks for Christian McCaffrey, and they're going to laugh at you. They're not going to take that. They're not going to do it. So what are you going to do?
They were willing to give up 3 first-round draft picks, McCaffrey and more for Watson when these reports were out.
McCaffrey was never. That is a rule. Like the trade was there,
but it was
McCaffrey was never part of that deal, bro.
The Panthers backed it up. They said they were willing to go all into upgrade.
No, McCaffrey was never part of that deal, ever. Don't believe the hype, bro. Don't believe the hype. McCaffrey was never part of that deal.
We're getting off track here. We're getting off track here. Let's keep it Dolphin related, baby.
Hey,
Ghost
to Changali. Let Ghost to Changali talk real quick. Go ahead, Ghost. Welcome to the panel.
Man. I'm sorry.
What's good? Sorry, Steven. It's good.
No, it's all good, man.
What's going on? Yeah, I'm a little slow today.
It's all good, man. What are your thoughts, man? Go ahead and get in where you fit in.
Listen, man, this Deshaun Watson stuff is it's really been I wouldn't say bugging us, but it's been something that's been pursuing us for a long, long time. I get it that the Dolphin fans don't want to trade for Deshaun Watson. They're enamored with Tua. I get it. Tua is a great kid. He's got a wonderful personality. You know, he's a high character guy. I get it, and he's got potential. I get that, but some Dolphin fans act like, you know, Deshaun Watson is just another like run-of-the-mill quarterback or something. This guy is a top 5 quarterback, bro. I don't care what nobody says. This guy is like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo level good in the NFL, you know, in the version of the NFL. So for you to sit here and pretend that you don't want to trade for a top 5 quarterback who is unquestionably
he's a franchise
upgrade over Tua Tagovailoa,
it's ridiculous.
Understanding?
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's just I just don't get it, man. I don't get it, and you guys should be excited. I don't get why some Dolphin fans are not getting excited that your team is showing the willingness that they want to be. Yeah, and it's like your team is showing the willingness that they want a top 5 quarterback at the position and that they want to get to a Super Bowl. Okay, they're trying to get us into a position that we haven't been in since 1984. Okay, since Marino retired too.
Preach facts, Ghost.
And
go ahead,
dude. And if it means trading, and I get it, you don't want to trade the house. I get it, first five picks. But if it took Xavier Howard and 3 first-round picks for a top 5 quarterback, bro, you cannot hesitate. You got to pull that trigger, bro. You know, and this is
okay. So let me ask you a question. If we trade those picks and Xavier Howard or whatever it is that you're saying, do you see us going to the Super Bowl?
Hey, you know what it's going to guarantee us? I don't know about Super Bowl, but you know what it's going to guarantee us? That we have a legit shot every year, okay, to make the playoffs and to be on the doorstep of going to the Super Bowl, okay? And if that means top 5 level play,
how can you
for the next 10, 15 years, I'll do it.
Go ahead,
When people sit here, we have that right now.
When
everything sits right now, we are playoff contenders right now.
When people, well, you hope. Did we make the playoffs last year?
We did not, and I'll have to disagree with you, Miami Football Talk. We're not. Until we are, we're not.
So when people try to throw that as a rebuttal, well, is that going to guarantee us the Super Bowl? God damn it! Does Tua guarantee us we're going to the Super Bowl?
No, you don't even know what his ceiling is going to be or his floor.
No.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
that's my only.
I think it's ridiculous for the fan, you know, and it's no shade at anybody, but I think it's ridiculous that us as fans, we don't want an upgrade at any position. It's literally the equivalent. It's literally the equivalent. I brought this up in the past. If the LA Rams pick up the phone and call the Dolphins and say, look, we have Aaron Donald on the trade block. But we want Raekwon Davis, included in the trade.
Hey,
y'all would be saying, make that goddamn trade right now. Everybody.
Hell yeah.
100%
hey, EM.
of the fan base. So this is the equivalent
exactly,
of that.
EM, I have a friend who wants to talk
That's
to
a Hall
you.
of Famer. That's a Hall of Famer.
Vinsanity, ladies and gentlemen. Vinsanity.
What's good, Vinsanity? Good morning.
Boy, this pay. Real quick, y'all like this panel.
To stay away. I was trying to stay away.
Y'all better hit that like button because this panel is straight fire right now.
I really wanted to stay away from this.
And number 2, donate if y'all want to donate to the channel because this is ridiculous. This is great content here, people. Let's go. All right, Vinsanity, the floor is yours.
I just got one question. Hey, EM, how you doing? Hey, Esteban. Those are my brothers, so I acknowledge them first. How you doing? Great one. Walter R.
Hello,
Big
what
John,
about me?
Miami football goes to Chan Gailey. I'm trying to do in the order that I know people. And hey, Steve,
you didn't say hi to me. This is my show. You're supposed to say hi to me.
Yeah.
Steven, you say this all the time, and you know I get to you last, man. Say the best for last, I guess.
All right,
not really. I'm just trying to make you feel better. Guys, hi, Horace. Shout out to Pete. Sorry, I'm just trying to be nice to everybody. It's just in my heart to be that type of person. Can you guys name for me the top QBs in the AFC?
Patrick Mahomes.
Without what?
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Lamar Jackson.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Obviously, Deshaun Watson.
I mean,
Justin Herbert.
I would say Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, but I don't know if you can put them in there yet. But
you can put Herbert in that conversation.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna put Allen in there.
But
we already said Allen.
Okay, all right.
Baker Mayfield's not top 5. Baker Mayfield is not top 5.
And I just said the top QBs. I just said the top QBs in the AFC. I'm not even worried about the NFC right now because everybody talking about
Baker's in that category. I would say.
Yeah, Baker too.
No, I'll put Carson with you. I'll put Baker in there.
Man, you need to boot him.
You done lost your everlasting mind.
Yo, we take Baker over Carson.
Stop.
All right, so who's gonna make a point? Let's cut off.
Go ahead, Vinsanity.
Bad take by great one.
So,
hey, what's today's date? Because I'm gonna make sure I timestamp this conversation.
all I'm saying is, if you get a chance to get one of those guys, you know that you have a legitimate chance at the AFC Championship every single year.
Oh yeah,
you have a legitimate chance. That gives you a legitimate chance of making the Super Bowl. Where would we put Tua right now? How much faith right now do you have in Tua that will win the AFC East?
Nope.
Now put Deshaun in his shoes. How much confidence do you have that will win the AFC East? You're
definitely have more.
really flipping your organization. You're flipping your organization with one guy.
I definitely have more confidence in. Go ahead, Sandy. My bad.
You can't say, you're looking for a franchise guy, and you have someone looking at you in the eyes, looking squarely at you, saying, "I'm willing to be that franchise quarterback for you. Come and get me." But then we'll be the same fan base if for the next 10 years we don't have a franchise quarterback. If we put it all in the bank, I'm not saying Tua's going to bust out. I hope Tua performs. A lot of people don't know this. Tua is tatted on my arm. That is the first QB that was ever tatted on my arm. His name. I have Marino's number. Yes, that's how much I was invested in Tua.
Insanity?
You have.
I'm gonna need you to put a picture of that and post it on social media.
Insanity, I would not have said that about Tua publicly.
Listen, because guess what?
I love Insanity, but I kind of want Tua to get traded now just to see what she does with it.
Come on now, listen. We didn't know Deshaun was going to be available when I got this done,
bad, bro.
and we saw Tua as our future franchise quarterback. Let's be honest.
You
people saying, "Cap, go." I can post it right now.
Tell them Insanity. That's facts.
So when I got it with the vision that Tua was our franchise quarterback. That's how much faith I had in this kid. But I mean, sometimes in life, you're awarded an upgrade. Are you going to tell me you're not going to take the upgrade? You're not going to take at least the chance of getting better? You miss on 100% shots you don't take. You scared money don't make no money.
Scared money don't make no money.
If the Dolphins, like, granted, if we get outbid, then so be it. We get outbid, the price went too high, then cool. But if there's a price that we can meet and match and go out and get this guy, and we don't get it, and we're stuck being 11-6, 10-7 team that just makes the playoffs to get out the playoffs, we will look at the early 2000s and say, welcome back to it. Welcome back. Deja vu. I'm not trying to live in no deja vu again. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of just getting to playoffs just to lose in the first round. I'm tired of, having a 10-6 season and then, now we're back at 8-8. I'm tired of 9-7. I want to know that each week, we have a legitimate chance to take out every team in front of us. And we had that with Deshaun Watson. We are not 100% sure we had that with Tua, even with this defense. And that's no cap, and y'all all know it. You look deep in your heart and deep in your mind.
That's true.
You know
You're
that.
right. Yep.
It's like
now trying to pull wins.
And when I said my comments, I didn't mean it as I'm opposed to Watson. I would definitely take Watson hands down over Tua, 100%. But when it comes to what I'm thinking of, okay, if we take Watson, what do I got to give up? I got to give up a couple players. All right. So if I give up these players, when can I get these players back? I don't have
first off, if the rumors, when the initial report came out, okay, Christian Wilkins was rumored to be in the package. Also Xavier Howard. You've already got Christian Wilkins replacement in house when you brought in Adam Butler. So the Dolphins tipped their hands.
Right.
I said that as soon as we acquired him, I got the receipts. I text Reason. I said, Adam Butler, which I love Adam Butler. I think he's more prototypical relative to the scheme, a better scheme fit than what Christian Wilkins is. So when we got Adam Butler, I literally texted him, bro, is Christian Wilkins going to be dealt, possibly in that Deshaun Watson package? That's what I literally texted him. And so then next thing you know, the reports came out about him rumored to be in that package. So
I didn't know.
You already have. That's a good take.
have
to give up Xavier Howard. If you have Xavier Howard, you're not going to pay him any. And I will again. I'm on the. Y'all know how I feel about Xavier Howard. I want the Dolphins to keep him, but obviously the Dolphins are not going to pay him. They're not going to give him what he wants. So you got to move him. And you got Christian Wilkins as a replacement in-house already, and you were not going to pay Xavier Howard anyway. So those are two players that you clearly, you got replacements for, Noah as well as Adam Butler. And again, I love Xavier Howard, but they're not going to pay him.
You got it.
So you send them two players, and you send those 3 first-round picks. And it's crazy how the Dolphins, they made sure they kept they made sure they kept 3 first-round picks for the next 2 years. One, our first next year and 2 in 2023. So and that rumors to be the price tag. That's rumored to be the price tag. 3 first-round picks and defensive players for Watson. Just saying.
I think when you talk about what Miami was it Football Talk was talking about earlier, he said, how do you get them? How do you replace? Obviously, EM answered that, and that's what you do in free agency. We got Butler, but you don't need a first round pick to develop somebody like a Christian Wilkins. You can get somebody like that in the second round. There's plenty of players that you can get in the later rounds and still develop. See, this is the thing, and that's what I've told. I had the exact same take that Ghost of Changeli had about, what they're doing, and if they make a trade for Deshaun Watson, they are pushing for a Super Bowl. Stephen Ross came out and admitted that last week, and they went under the radar that he wants to win one soon. So where I'm at is if you look at the state of the team, we finally have a coach that has shown potential to where he excels at least on one side of the football. And if he grasps a hold of the other side, sky's the limit. But you have to you gotta think about right now, if you gotta cut some fat to get there, where's it at? It's obviously it can't be Flores. If you're a Dolphin fan and you think getting rid of the coach is the solution and bringing somebody else in and keeping Tua to get and hope that Tua gets us there, that's the wrong way to go about it. Right now, Tua is the one that hasn't proven anything in the NFL, and Flores has. So you would have to subtract Tua, keep Flores, and let Flores do his thing. And I say that because if you look at the history of the Dolphins, we have coaches going in and out of here every 3-4 years, bro. It's ridiculous. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, but going back to the 60s, they've only had 3 freaking coaches. We can't hang on to one, and you finally have one that has shown potential. You got to keep him. You got to let him do his thing. Let him figure it out. If he's telling you we need to go get Deshaun, let him do it. That's where I'm at.
It is crazy. I wanted to make. I'm glad you brought that because I was going to make this point earlier. It's crazy how all of the fan base, for the most part, like 98% of them, they're always saying trust the flow says, except when it comes to this particular situation. They don't want to give the man the benefit of the doubt, and they see Tua 6 days a week. They see him more than his mama season. So they want to trust him they want to trust him in every other facet of this organization, right? Except this one when it comes to Tua. Stop it. It's ridiculous, man.
And that's what I've been saying. And I've said this multiple times to Ian privately, man. They see him in practice. If they're ready to get rid of him now in training camp, it's for a reason. They did the same thing with Rosen. Why wouldn't they do it with Tua?
Listen, and that's the thing. And it's not just that. Tua could be balling out in practice, right? But you're talking about Deshaun Watson. This guy is a top 5 quarterback. It's not an indictment of what Tua is going to be or what he is, bro.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, Rashad Brown.
It's not a knock on Tua.
Yeah.
Rashad Brown, go ahead, brother.
All right. So
welcome to the channel, by the way.
Thank you for having me. With the whole Deshaun Watson situation, as Dolphin fans, we try to find a positive way into the situation. I'm not gonna use that word. We killed the Texans with that Tunsil trade. They're coming for blood if they want anything from us. It's not going to be a Christian Wilkins. When they say first round talent, that doesn't mean they had to be drafted in the first round. They're looking more at a AVG or a Raekwon Davis in that situation.
If we give up AVG, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Exactly.
Well, they did. There was a rumor that they did ask for Andrew Van Ginkel, and the Dolphins told him, and it was an emphatic no.
It will only make sense if you want that first round caliber of a player to go for the best young players you can get. That's not even saying Jalen Waddle or Jalen Phillips. They might not go that far, but they're not going to want to go as low as, oh, he's a first round. He was drafted in the first round, so maybe we can develop him. No, they want to see they want the players who's halfway there already, in my eyes, and especially coming from the Dolphins. And I said it over the weekend, and now it seems like everybody's saying it. Xavier Howard wants $20 million. I'm not going. If I'm rebuilding, I'm not going to
I've
trade
said that all
for
morning.
that cornerback just to take another $20 million off my books. It makes no sense. If I'm rebuilding,
I agree.
I'm not
X
going
is
to win
not
right
going to
away
the
with
Texans.
that cornerback. And
Well, let me ask you guys a hypothetical question. What if you trade for X, but your idea isn't that X stays with the Texans? What if you trade for X and then trade him to a contender and get their draft picks? You don't have to keep.
If that's the case, then you
point.
do a 3-team trade. That's what I think.
Point.
You know,
Well, you have the Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah, but two things. Number one, there's not a big. There is precedent for 3-team trades. They've happened, but it's very rare. And so you have to be able to get, people in there that are interested in doing that. Ghost, I think I cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, Ghost. If you want to get back into the conversation, my bad, bro.
With what Rashad Brown said, real quick, that'd be like, Texans having all the leverage. I just don't think that they have all the leverage. They're the ones that are in a predicament right now where their quarterback wants to leave, and he has a no trade clause. All these fans that are saying he's going to Philly, they got all this, trade cap. They got all this capital. That don't mean crap, because if Watson don't want to go there, then you're not going to be able to trade him there. We're the ones, if they come to the table with us, they might want all these players. That doesn't necessarily mean that we got to give it to them. Mm-hmm. We're the ones that have to say, yeah, we'll give you AVG if we're stupid enough to do it. You know what I mean? If you don't realize, but what people don't realize is they don't have the leverage, y'all. They don't. We do.
They have. And
Rashad, real quick, I got to give a little pushback when you said that they're coming for blood, but how bad could it be? Look at how much business we've already done in free agency. Now we got Scarlett, we got
McKinney,
we got Bernard McKinney, we got what's the wide receiver name? Leave him on mind because I'm trying to make the point.
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, and I told EM in free agency before we even made that trade. I looked at how much these guys were going to cost, and I pointed out him because of his price tag, and I was like, this looks like a guy that they're going to go after, and if we get him, he's coming with Deshaun. But what happened was we got Fuller, and Watson didn't come because right when he was going to put pen to paper and make the trade happen, the allegations came out. So I'm just saying, how bad could that blood be when we're already making we've already done all this business with these guys?
See, Fuller was part of the trade. He was a free agent, and as a team rebuilding, you will want to get McKinney's contract off of your roster. So they pretty much won that trade. They just let me get McKinney out of here if I'm going to rebuild. So
they really?
They didn't win that trade.
I think Miami
Miami won that trade.
What I'm saying is getting the contract off your books. I'm restarting. There's nothing I can do. That's like saying Pittsburgh won the trade when they got Minka, but what we were doing was we got a first-round pick out of it. We were starting completely over.
By the way, I do think that Pittsburgh won that trade. Let's get that straight.
Everybody believes that Pittsburgh won that trade. Look at what Minka's doing now. But at the time, we were looking at it like, oh, Minka doesn't want to.
And it makes me real sad to think
we got a first-round pick out of it.
That we could have had Minka and X on the same defense. That would have been
we had it.
Minka didn't want to be here, so you had to get him out. Yeah, Minka didn't have it.
Well, wait, time out. Let me say something. I don't know if you guys read the report. I have to look it up where I found it, but according to people, Minka didn't leave here because Flores didn't want him here. According to people, I have to go look up where I saw it. He had an issue with another player's wife, and that situation could not be resolved. It almost went to blows, and that's why they got rid of Minka.
I haven't heard that yet.
It's on the internet. I have to find it, but
wait a minute. So Buddy was screwing around with other buddies' wives?
Yeah, according, I have to.
Boy, he was pulling a Matt Barnes and who's my man from the Lakers, Derek Fisher.
According, that would make more sense.
Don't maybe bring up Tony Parker.
Tony Parker.
That would make more sense to what EM were saying, where it didn't make sense for you to get rid of him when all you had to do was move him. If you had an issue in the locker room with somebody else's wife, which is what was written, and they couldn't fix the issue, then you have to get rid of him. Now, the one thing I was going to say, even though I agree with Estefan for most of it, here's my thing. People say that the Texans don't have the leverage, right? And in most cases, I would agree. In this one, I don't, and I'm going to explain why. I don't think that the Dolphins have the leverage for one reason. He's under contract for like another 3 or 4 years. Okay, he has a no trade clause. If the same thing we're talking about with X, we don't have to trade him. He can sit. If they don't like what they're gonna get for Deshaun, he can just sit. He'll waste his youth on his ass at home, and they'll wait for him to play. Or he'll be gone for 3 years.
You know what? But you know what? If they do that,
time out, real quick. I got 2 people that want to get on that I think you're gonna like. You ready? Y'all ain't ready.
I like everybody.
Reason and Cap for life. What's up, boys? What's going on?
Yo?
What's going on? What's going on, EM?
Reason came for that smell.
What's up, kid?
Yo, the player. Yeah, I followed your lead, bro.
Finally, The Rock has come back.
Minka was getting close to Xavier Howard's wife. That's what was happening.
I knew it was something.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Had to be a star
I thought exactly. I thought I was like, I've heard that too somewhere. I forgot too, bro. Yeah.
Oh, and ball game's been told by someone privately, like even more detail. But basically, what was going down was it started off with texting. They started hanging out. X confronted Minka. Minka blew him off, and then X went into Minka went into Forrest's office and asked to be traded.
Bro, that's a real life baller script right there. True story.
Reason, real quick.
So much love to the devil and the price was cheap. Yeah. What's that, bro?
I hope it was worth it, bro. I hope
it was good. That's all I got to say.
No, but here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but Mortensen put out that. Well, no, they kept it under wraps. What was going on?
It would hurt Minka's trade value.
Yeah,
if that had got out.
Yeah, because locker rooms wouldn't want that coming in, right?
They'd be like, hell no, I don't want that man around my wife.
Oh my God.
Now Mortensen came out this morning. Mortensen came out this morning and said 5 draft picks plus players.
That's crazy.
Oh, he said 5 draft. He didn't say 5 first round.
He said 5 draft picks plus players. Yo, and apparently from Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, and Mortensen, they're not budging right now. Like they are. Apparently, it goes back to when this all first hit. What was I saying on my channel like months and months ago? Nick Castro, this will be his first big move as a GM. He's not going to lose the trade because he's a former Patriots guy. So look at who groomed him. If he loses the trade and they don't get enough back, he could be out the door in a couple of years and he'll never get a GM job ever again. And here's the other thing, people. I heard Esteban going on about Philly. What you got to remember, too, is, and I talked to EM about this, a report came out from Watson's camp in January, February, that they would be willing to waive the no trade clause to basically every team in the NFL as long as they got out of Houston. So this isn't going to be a point of him just saying, I'll only go there. He wants out of Houston. I mean, his quarterback coach was just on Adam Schefter's podcast this morning, and they recorded on Friday. His quarterback coach, who's independent and doesn't work with the team, said he thought he would be traded by Sunday. And remember, that's an independent, someone not connected to the team, and that information is clearly secondhand from Watson. So that's how close this stuff is. I don't think Watson's going to start to get picky. I think Watson wants out.
I think he will be a little selective to an extent because it's the whole culture thing, man. You got Greer and Flores here, 2 minority. You got a minority GM and a minority coach that's setting the table for just the culture here. So I think we still have the upper hand as far as like where he wants to go. I don't know, man. There've been people come on. I haven't even looked it up, but you had people saying 5 high draft picks. I don't know. And then you came in and you said 5 draft picks. So I'm not sure where they're at.
In 2 seconds. This was reported by Benjamin Albright back in January. Benjamin Albright dropped an article that it's going to take 3 first, 2 seconds plus players. Benjamin Albright reported this. The Dolphins will not pay that. Because here's the thing. Listen.
That's a lot.
Listen. Here's the thing: the Dolphins will not overpay based on this. If they were that desperate at upgrading the quarterback position, they would not move back from 3 and not drafted a quarterback. It's because they're okay with Tua. The reports are coming out of minicamp that they loved what they were seeing in terms of progression. They're fine with that. The only thing is, it's a top 5 quarterback in his prime, and they rarely hit the trade market. That's the only thing that, like, look at. I mean,
and they'd be stupid not to think about it.
Well, yeah, but dude, they would have taken Trey Lance or Justin Fields. If look, go back to the athleticism. Me and the EM have had this conversation. If the athleticism was really that big of a sticking point, Justin Fields and Trey Lance are far more athletic than
that is true.
Tua Tagovailoa. They would have made that. But here's the thing: they have a prospect that they believe in. They're not going to reset and reboot the whole grooming a quarterback. I keep telling you, the only reason they want Watson is because he's a legit proven commodity in a top 5 at his position. If he wasn't even on the market, we wouldn't even be talking about upgrading the quarterback position.
I do agree with that.
Can I ask a question? Sure. Do you think it's because they want to make sure they save their job? Like, if you get Deshaun Watson, you have a little more time. Maybe you're more credible.
Yeah, extend your shelf life. You can extend your shelf life. Because again, you don't know what the ceiling and the floor is going to be of Tua Tagovailoa because you didn't have him at full health last year. So you can't sit there and gauge, okay, what's this kid going to be when he starts off from day 1 in the season to the end at 100%, works his way through a full 17-game schedule, then we can gauge what his floor and his ceiling is. The problem is, just like some of us smart fans, they consider last year as a washout. So that's why they don't know what there's more questions pertaining to what Tua's ceiling and floor is going to be, as opposed to you can gauge what Watson's ceiling is going to be, and he's a more proven commodity right now because he's been in the league. He just finished his 4th season last year.
I gotta say something real quick though, because I don't know where y'all are at on what Reason just said about 3 firsts and 2 seconds. All I would say is, because we discussed earlier, it'd be nice to get Watson and still keep X. This is what I would say. If that's what they're dead set on and they don't budge, maybe we can get 1 second back and maybe 3 firsts and a second. This is where I'm at. That whole thing with X, I think he does get traded and they try to get some of that back that they traded away from Houston by trading away X. If it's not to Houston, it may be another team, maybe a 3-team trade, Houston, something like that. So you at least get some second rounders back for X. That's what I think they might do if they still pull the trigger on Watson.
See, I think it would be personally stupid to trade Xavier Howard if you're acquiring Deshaun Watson, because Xavier Howard on the team gives you a much better chance to win.
I agree. I agree, but it's like, and you've mentioned it before, Reason, on your channel.
Hey, I got a question.
Go ahead, Cap.
Go ahead, Cap.
Now, I'm curious, man, and maybe Reason might put some more light on this, but as far as Stephen Ross, all right, and Stephen Ross had to do a lot of London trips based upon the cards that were dealt with the Dolphins having to take those trips to London, all right? That's number 1. Number 2, the revamp of the stadium. Number 3, the Super Bowls that have been invested to this team coming up in the future, all right? All these things accumulate, man. You don't think that all this right now has come to a point where Stephen Ross says, I'm ready to cash out, you owe me big to the NFL and Roger Goodell? You don't think Roger Goodell and his lawyer mentality isn't talking to Stephen Ross and say, hey, we know what you've done for us. We got your back in certain ways. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. You don't think that's happening?
Reason?
Well, I mean, my only argument with that would be him and Robert Kraft were best of friends, and he made Tom Brady's life a living hell every time there was inkling of wrongdoing in New England.
Yep.
And look at how much money they made off that New England dynasty. I mean, let's be honest. Fans of the last 10, 15, 20 years in the NFL, the majority of them are freaking Patriot fans.
I'm just saying, if it's not on the exemption list now, maybe that's a little bit of a I scratched your back, but I'm not really saying anything.
I don't think so. I don't think that Roger Goodell is about the logo, bro. He's don't
about
promote.
The shield.
Okay, so this is what throws me off. I talked to Benjamin Albright, privately. And Benjamin Albright, again, I just said, he put out the 5 draft picks and the multiple players back in January that now Mortensen's reporting. For some reason, and I don't know why, Benjamin Albright believes that Watson's going to end up on the exempt list. I don't know what. And Benjamin Albright has as pristine as a track record as anyone out there, any insider you want to label. So I don't know what's going on. And he's also told me Denver's out on Watson, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because they're in on Rodgers. Why would they be out on Watson?
Denver, in my opinion, it's Denver, Philly, and Miami.
And he told me Denver's out. And if you believe the reports today, Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport and Albert Breer put out, it was either Albert Breer or Peter King, Carolina's still interested, even though they got Sam Darnold.
Well, bro, hey, let's get something straight. It's Sam Darnold. I get why they're still in it.
Washington has if these guys want defensive pieces, Washington can afford to give up defensive players.
I would feel so bad for Fitzpatrick. I would feel so bad.
I know, but it kind of makes sense though, right? Like
it does. It's a perfect trade scenario for them,
dude. Washington, because you don't have to go through Mahomes. You don't have to go through Lamar Jackson. You don't have to go through all those guys.
You get to play the sorry NFC East.
Yeah, bro, and you can roll through the NFC in the playoffs because Rodgers looks like he's about to on the way out, right? So
Watson
and it works for Houston. It works for Houston because you get him out of your conference.
And you probably get Chase Allen to replace J.J. Watt.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's a lot of guys you could get Payne in there, and there's a lot of people you could bring in. I don't know, man. They got a lot of pieces.
Hey, reason why
they got a running game, man.
I am interested to your take. What do you think of Shaquem Griffin and the other guy, Craven, that we got? I think it's Craven, right?
Cre'Von LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc. What do you think of those two guys?
I think Cre'Von LeBlanc. I talked to my boy Clump. Clump used to cover the Philadelphia Eagles pretty tight. He told me LeBlanc's a baller. He just can't stay healthy, but he's a legit slot option. And then he's a great athlete too. I think Shaquem Griffin is a great athlete. I think he's going to get more chances to rush the passer schemed up for him in this defense because, if you go back to how they're using him in Seattle, they just basically use him off the edge. We can use him shooting through gaps and such. But I think he's going to make the team because I think he's a special teams ace.
So my question is, who doesn't make the team now that Shaquem's here?
I think it comes down to Duke Riley or Brendan Scarlett.
Interesting. And I think the fan base really wants to see Brennan Scarlett make it. So at least that's what the fan base is clamoring for.
Duke Riley might offer you more, though.
Reason, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on Eichenberg?
I think he's, from the moment we drafted him, I think he's solid. I think, he's a sound technician.
You think he's a day one starter?
Yeah, because of what we have. I think, though, Fluker, I got to see. I mean, you guys will see him in pads when you go down there before I do. But Fluker's lost 50 pounds, and he looks ripped, man. So
I'm really excited to see him in preseason.
Yeah. Eichenberg's arms and his ability to deal with guys with good bend around the arc, that's what worries me.
Now, let me ask you something. From a standpoint of reading into the mind of the locker room or the mind of the front office, you signed Shaquem Griffin, right? Or excuse me, I can't think of the new guy's name. Say it again.
Cre'Von LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc. You signed LeBlanc. You could easily look at that as, okay, they're looking to replace or add depth, so when X leaves, they're good. But then you could also take a look and say, Benardrick McKinney got his contract restructured over the weekend, and they're looking to give money to X. Which way are you leaning towards? Because they both are polar opposites from a standpoint.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Benardrick restructures his contract and then we sign Javon Holland right away. Yep. I think it's more so about the rookie class.
Okay.
Correct.
Because we still got to sign Eichenberg and we still got to sign Hunter Long.
I agree. Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Great point.
So where are all these people coming from that the Dolphins have all this cap space over the next couple of years?
It's just speculation.
Yeah, next year we got like $68 million.
And where's that in relative to the top or bottom?
And what do you mean?
It's up there, right? We're in
it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. It's like top 10.
So why are all of a sudden, why? So I think some fans are asking, why can't we find the money this year to sign X, and why are if we just had
We
to
have a lot of
restructure
one-year deals.
Benardrick McKinney?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a lot of 1 year's deal.
Yeah, you'd have to
Okay.
restructure more money, right? Like, you could tell X, hey, you know what? Play this year out and we'll pay you next year. But, I mean, he's probably seen how we've handled guys that we have outs on, and he's probably like, nah, I ain't playing that game. Give me my money right now. So
the rumor is he's showing up for camp.
Well, no, I was told that a couple weeks ago.
Better.
He doesn't want to lose the $50,000. This is what I was told. I was told he's showing up to camp. He will give them till week 1 to give him a new deal. If there's no deal, quote unquote, relationships will be severed, and he will not sit back down to the table, which they haven't even sat down to the table to hear his wants and needs right now.
That's what I thought. They did the same thing with Rashad Jones.
Yeah.
Well, Miami has a history of doing that.
Paid, so.
Dude, I'm telling you, he hurt himself by going on that Butler and Antoine Bethea podcast.
Yep, I agree with you, Reed.
Yep.
But it's funny though that came out earlier in the year, and it really didn't make headwaves until later on.
Until things got serious.
Yeah, but you know how Coach Flo is, where he likes to keep everything in house.
Oh yeah. And what's
That's
crazy
exactly
is,
what I told you a long time ago, Steven. I told you that hurt him by him. It's like, you know what I mean? You called out your organization publicly, man.
If Lynn Bowden,
you don't say stuff like that in public. That's behind closed doors. If
Lynn Bowden Jr. got reamed out, if Lynn Bowden Jr. got reamed out for that Tyler Dunn article a couple weeks ago, where all he did was kind of pull the veil back on how the Raiders treated him, and he didn't even bash the Dolphins, how do you think they felt with what X said? Because this is what I said to someone. I said, listen, let me ask you this. I said, is it a matter of Flores likes the player, but loves the player, but hates the person? And I was told you're not that far off.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Hey, Lynn Bowden. The only thing I'm mad at Lynn Bowden is for that crappy tattoo he drew. I mean, he can put all he wants.
Yeah. But he didn't. But my point is, he didn't really say anything detrimental to the team.
Exactly.
It's a matter of Flores didn't like that, even though it's not the Dolphins. You're pulling the veil back on the Raiders because he takes it as a reflection. It's the Belichick thing, man. They want you to just shut up.
Yeah.
And get in line.
Who's the defensive player that Belichick traded to Cleveland for running his mouth?
Collins. Jamie Collins.
Yeah, Jamie Collins.
Oh my God, I remember that. I remember trade me anywhere but Cleveland, and like 48 hours later, it was in Cleveland, bro. And I was like, wow, like that's so disrespectful.
Do you guys see anything wrong with that? With keeping everything in house and not letting it out?
I think
I don't have a problem with
pros
that.
and cons to it.
Just the way they handle it.
Keep it in house. Keep it in house. Keep it in
There's
house.
always a mole. There's always a mole.
Adam Gase was a mole.
It's true.
There's pros and cons to everything, right? Like if you have somebody that's in-house and wants to keep everything in-house, that is great for team chemistry. That also means as a player, hey, look, what goes on here stays here. You know, I don't have to worry about stuff getting leaked per se. But it also is a detriment to a player because it's like, well, if I feel I'm getting screwed over, I can't say nothing. The team has the upper hand.
You put a muzzle in your mouth.
So
I gotta
and
ask
cons
the question. I got a question.
Yeah, but you don't want to give the team,
I got a question for Cap. Cap, bro, be honest. Do you think that we have the leverage with Deshaun as far as the trade, opposed to them, even if he said that they pulled it, even if they said they pulled a no trade clause and you can go anywhere? What do you think, bro? Who's got the leverage? And take into account that he actually said he wanted to come here.
Deshaun.
Look, the only thing I gotta say is, like I told, like me and EM said it from the rip, man. Like, it's a win-win, man. All we're doing is sitting back and watching the madness happen. We have the leverage, we have the chips. We did have the draft picks at one point. We screwed the pooch on that one, but I mean, I just feel like we're letting it play out and letting it play out. And from this team being a playoff contender, perennial, like Super Bowl, if we play our cards right team, all of a sudden everybody wants to leave here. But at the same time, if this one person comes here, then everybody wants to come here and everybody wants to stay here. You got to put that into account.
That's a great point, Cap. That's why I asked you, man. I had to get his perspective.
All right.
If you let Cap talk, he'll drop some nuggets, man.
Hey, Tampa Bay set the blueprint. I'm sorry.
Facts.
All right, guys. Real quick. Number one, I appreciate y'all being on the panel, but what I'm going to do to wrap things up is I'm going to let everybody have their final say. I'm going to let you guys go one by one, but I want everybody to stay on because I got a few things to announce after it that I think you guys are going to like. So stay on till after. Also, if you haven't hit that like button, there's 76 people watching, 61 people have hit that like button. Cap for Life, what do they need to do? Tell them to do it.
Man, hit it, man. Hit it.
Smack it. Hit that like button.
Pancake
it. Eat it. And all right, so we will start with Miami football talk. Go from the bottom up.
I hope everybody had a good and a blessed weekend. I hope everybody's weeks. I know it's Monday and everybody's dragging ass, but I hope everybody has a good rest of your week. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Hey, love you, brother. Fins up. Be good.
Forget, like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. All right, Ghost of Changeli, on you, my guy.
Urban.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm good with whatever the Dolphins do. Whoever's under center, I'm gonna rally behind. If it's Watson, I'm gonna put my 100% support behind him. If it's Tua, I got Tua's back. So whoever can lead us to the promised land, I just won that damn Super Bowl, bro. It doesn't matter who it is. I just wanted to lift that Lombardi, man. That's all I got to say. Fins up.
All right, Ghost. Thanks for coming on, brother. All right, Rashad, on you, my guy.
I'm here for whatever the Dolphins do. I would love it if they got Watson, but I doubt it. In my eyes, I doubt it. I believe they like what they seen, the work ethic from Tua, even if he hasn't been in the game since last year. I think they like what they got and what they see coming for him this offseason. And I don't believe that they are willing to part ways with what the Texans is looking for. I'm hoping that we figure this Xavier Howard thing out because he's our best player. I feel like he needs to be a Dolphin. He needs to retire a Dolphin. And if he wants out, sit him at home. Like, just don't trade him. Just let him ride at home at the end of the day, in my eyes. But that's just me. But y'all.
Hey, Rashad, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. I love your support. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. All right. Estefan, on you, my guy.
Yeah, man. I'm with whoever said it earlier. I believe it was Miami football talk. It's all about the Super Bowl, man. Whatever it takes to get there. I'm at a point where I like Tua, but like I said, man, it's whatever they're seeing that we don't see. You know what I mean? We hadn't seen Tua since the Bills game, so whatever they see that we don't see, as far as Tua's concerned, he's done everything he could have possibly done to get his body right. And I feel he did everything right in that case. But yeah, man, it's all about the Super Bowl, man. Whatever it takes to get us there. And if they feel that it's time to move on and they don't, forecast that he's the guy for the future, that's why you move on. You know what I mean? It's not about more or less, it has something to do with what you see now, but more or less what you're gonna get out of him in the future. And if he's not the guy, then you just got to move on for Watson. But if he stays, then I'm confident that they made the right decision, man. So, like Cap said earlier, it's a win-win. And I also want to just go ahead and let y'all know that if you're gonna watch any Olympic sport and you miss it and you got to go back and watch it, you got to watch some beach volleyball, bro. Because I'm telling y'all, I saw Switzerland and Holland this morning, the replay, and that chick from Switzerland is fire, bro.
Bro, check out canoeing, bro. I'm serious. That canoeing is fire.
You can't go wrong with chicks in bikinis on the beach, bro. That's all I gotta say, man.
Of course you would, Estefan. Of course you would.
Bro, I'm talking about since I was like in middle school. I've been watching these chicks all the way back to Misty May? Misty May and Claire Ross Jennings. Yeah, bro. There's like a big old party, bro, to go to one of those events. I would love to watch some chicks in bikini, like putting it all out there, bro. I mean, I'm talking about as far as their play, bro. But
I'm
That's
sure.
just me.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely,
you. Thank you,
yeah.
Estefan, for
That's
your
what you're.
contribution
That's
this
what you were
morning.
thinking.
I love you, bro. Be good.
Follow me on my beach volleyball channel. I'll break it down.
See you later, dude. All right, Walter. What's up, my guy?
All right, thank you for having me on, Steph, man. I do appreciate this, man. You know, Dolphins, I'm a diehard Dolphins fan, you feel me? So I just
we can argue whenever, man. I'm here for it. I like it. We can go back and forth, man. That's what makes this channel great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to see things go right with Tua and stuff like that. With the whole Miami Dolphins as a whole, I really want to keep Xavier Howard. I want to be able to go out and buy the jersey, but it's so hard to purchase a jersey when you never know a guy's gonna be able to retire in it. But so
that's why you know why? Hey, that's why you buy DWA. Go get your DWA gear, Walter, from MiamiSportsMusic.com.
Okay. I got you.
Okay, you want to know why? Because DWA never gets traded.
No, you're a diehard Dolphins fan, so
for life, baby. So go get your DWA gear, man.
I got you. Link in the bio, bro. Trust me. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate everything, bro.
Be easy, my guy. All righty. Cap for life. My
man.
What's up, buddy? My guy. The floor is yours.
No, yeah, man. I just appreciate the extra content you guys been putting in, the extra hours, man. I really, you, Reason, TD, Larry, it's past couple of weeks have been crazy. The next week is going to be even more.
It's only going to be crazier.
I just wonder how you guys are going to, organize that. But yeah, man, just thanks a lot for everything, man. It's been a good time killer for the majority of everything that's going on. It is what it is, man. Whoever our quarterback, we just got to make the playoffs and win the division, man. I'm hungry, man. I'm going to go to Chipotle.
Cap for life. I love you, brother. Be good, man. And then there were two.
What's up?
Big John, you started us off today. You're going to finish us off today.
I am okay with whatever they do as far as, if they go for Deshaun or don't go for Deshaun. I just hope they make the right decision. We've already been bitten too many times. And see, I have a lot of doubts. Here's the reason. Here's one. Every time we get a player from an opposing team, they never perform the way they did on the opposing team. Every time we grab a player, we misuse them somehow. Okay? Now, Vinsanity was talking about, I'm tired and this and that. Okay, that's fine. You're tired and we're all tired. And I agree with her, what she's saying. But if he gets injured, it's going to be the same thing that happened with Culpepper. It's like it's a ridiculous, similar situation. If we do it, fine. Do I think we should? I don't think we should. I think it's premature. I understand it if we do.
Yeah, I would never blame the team for doing it. Let's put it that way.
But my thing is, if you look at all the teams that have given up on quarterbacks without seeing their potential, they end up paying for it in the end. The Falcons did it with Brett Favre. The 49ers did it with Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
You give up on players way too early, and then all of a sudden, you wish you had them. So I mean, that's my thing. I hope they make the right decision. I would not give up 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and players. See, that's too much. I don't think he's gonna get traded. I think Tua starts. I think there's gonna be Tua's team, and we're gonna see what he does. That's basically what I think, and I don't think that Deshaun has the leverage. I think the Texans do the same way we said with Xavier Howard. Let him sit. At the end of the day, the 22 sexual allegations were on you. The Texans didn't do it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They're not the ones on Instagram looking for 32 IG models. It was him. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they can let him sit. If he's 26, he'll be 27. He's still in the prime of his career. They don't have to give him up right now until they get what they want.
All right, Big John.
But if I'm Miami, I don't give up all that, man. I don't.
Thank you for coming out today, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. I literally
was gonna get off at 10, and not really have, because I had so much stuff to do, but I was like, I can't leave you hanging. It turned out to be an amazing show. So thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Look at what I started.
You're the man, Big John. Love you, brother.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too. All right, guys. What did y'all think of that one? That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It was super exciting to be a part of today. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I'm trying to get the right slides in here because I want to talk to you guys about stuff that's coming up on the show. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Listen, tomorrow, 9 p.m., Hellfins, they are not going to do pre-recorded. They're going to go live. So if you speak a little Espanol, Spanish-speaking podcast for the Miami Dolphins, tomorrow at 9 p.m. live. The link will probably be up in the next hour or two for tomorrow night's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S., Spanish-speaking podcast, Hellfins. So I am super excited about that. They are going to go on tomorrow night. That's going to be great. I just confirmed with them, and that's going to be absolutely amazing. I want to remind everybody, next week, the Fire in Ice Combat Sports Podcast will debut. That's going to be absolutely awesome, hosted by Angel Ortiz. So be on the lookout for that. Don't have a date for that, but where are all my combat sports fans at? I know you guys are going to love it. It's going to be so awesome to have here. I want to give a big shout out to Chris Johnson for donating to the channel. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. When you guys donate to the channel, it definitely helps to help this grow. And we're trying to do a lot of big and amazing things here. So thank you so much for donating to the channel, big guy. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Tomorrow's show, live and in person, 8:30 a.m., just like we do all the time. Also, want to remind everybody, too, there's a few things that are currently on the channel that I think you guys should check out. Number one, we had a big DolFan Chat that I thought was really, really good, as well as this one was. You guys, make sure you go back and replay this show today and share it with your friends. But if you want to see another good DolFan Chat roundtable, check this one out. You'll see that down on the main page of the YouTube page, which is absolutely awesome. You also go to What Would Shula Do, and you will also see the 11th episode, X's and O's. You'll hear his take. He's got a new episode that'll be dropping, if not this week, early next week. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be good stuff there. And then always the Freak Show. The Freak Show, episode 1. Make sure you guys go check her out. Absolutely good stuff. And if you like music and you like punk rock and you like hip hop, I had a really, really cool conversation with Bad Bruno, punk rock band, as well as Solo D. Make sure you guys check that out. That's good stuff too. All right. Well, look, this was so much fun hanging out with you all today. Again, if you guys want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, you guys can do that at the bottom of the screen real quick before we get off here at the little $sign. All of it helps. It helps the channel grow. It's good stuff. Would love to get a couple more donations before we get off the air. The other thing is hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. We got 64 likes today. Can we get to 70 before we get off the air? If you haven't hit that like button yet, hit that like button right now. It all helps the channel grow. It's all about algorithms and everything like that. So when you guys donate, it's a big deal. So thanks again. I hope you guys enjoyed all the content today. It was good stuff. This was such an amazing episode of Clock Blockers. And we try to do this each and every morning up here. And I try to do it for you, the fans. You guys are the best fans in the world, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else except you guys. So make sure you guys do that. Want to give a big shout out to people in the chat box today. Finsanity is in the building. Chef Zhu is in the building. Share, subscribe, like, share. Fantasy Fan Panel, great show. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that, brother. Duke Tomlinson from across the pond. Appreciate it, man. Jeff Premont. Hey, Finn's family. What's up, brother? Absolutely awesome. Chef Zhu says, subscribe, like, share, and become a member today. Miami Football Talk. Love to all. No, Big John, you're the best. No, Finsanity, you're the best. How about you're both the best? Okay, you're both the best. Again, guys, if you want to donate to the channel, help the channel grow, hit that donate button. If you guys are rewatching this and don't see the donate button down at the bottom, there's two different ways you can donate. You can donate through Cash App, MSM Podcast Network. It's actually the best way to do it. It has the least amount of fees, which helps me out a lot more. So if you guys do it through there, that's awesome. So the Cash App, here's the QR code that you see right here. You guys can scan that QR code, and it will come right up. So if you take a screenshot, you'll be able to scan that QR code. And then the MSM Podcast Network with the $ in front of it. And then you can also use PayPal, MSM Podcast Network too. All right. So again, we're trying to do new content, trying to get new graphics people in here, all that. So all that cost money. So I appreciate all your help. Chris Johnson said Finn's Mafia. Oh, no, that sounds like too much like Bill's Mafia. It's got to say Finn's family. Family. Again, Fast 9 I went to go see last night. I liked it, but man, it was definitely not the best one of the franchise, I have to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the show this morning. It was so much fun hanging out with you. Remember, Clock Blockers each and every morning at 9 a.m. or excuse me, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We're doing big things up here. Please support the channel in any way that you can. You guys sign up to become a member if you haven't done so already. And then you guys can also donate to the channel through the Super Chat or the Cash App or the PayPal. And remember, last but not least, follow me at Stephen D. SKPL. Stephen D. SKPL stands for Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love. Because that's what I'm about. Kindness, positivity, and love. So thank you, everybody, for everything you guys have done. It's absolutely amazing. And I will see you guys tomorrow with my man Wade. It's Tuesdays. It'll be a What Would Chula Do Tuesday with Wade. So make sure you guys check out tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. Love you guys. Peace up. Fins up. Y'all be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And have a wonderful and amazing day. Love you guys.